Naruto, I became Hinata brother. Chapter 21. Konoha. The lights are bright. Shops, pubs, restaurants, and other places are still bustling. However, the topic of discussion tonight is still about the Kumo ninja and the Hyuga family. In one of the pubs, the following discussion is taking place. Did you hear? The Kumigakuer forced the Hyuga clan to hand over the head of the clan, or they would start a war. The Hyuga clan leader? He is the clan leader of a large clan. I don't think the Hyuga clan would agree to such a condition. But that's a war. If a war really happens. Yes, I still agree that the Hyuga family sacrificed the clan leader to save Konoha. I don't want war to happen anymore. Being able to sacrifice one person to save the whole village is also an honor. You guys have had enough, you are such cowards, where is your passion from the past? The Kumigakuer can force the Hyuga clan to give up the position of clan leader today, and the day after tomorrow it can force the Uchiha clan, the Hotaki clan. The clan leaders of all the clans. Don't you realize the ambition of the Kumigakuer, eh? Young man angrily retorted. This is just your assumption. Yes, you are still young and have never experienced the Ninja World War. It was really cruel. Sacrificing one person for peace in Konoha is worth it. In a corner of the tavern, Kakashi and Guy were in a heavy mood. Kakashi, do you think that we are right to give in like this? Guy, I don't like this kind of giving in. Kakashi, I don't like it either. He drank the sake in the cup. In another tavern, Kakuzu hid in the darkness, spitting on this coward who retreated. Tonight, things will be different. Swoosh, disappeared. Soon after, the three figures began to separate. You are in charge of the Hokage's office. You are responsible for sealing the book. I'm in charge of the treasury. Money, I love it the most. Kakuzu sighed. 2 miles outside the Hokage's office, there is a large courtyard. Hyuga Hayashi walked in slowly. Although he could sense that there were many ANBU and root ninjas nearby, Hyuga Hayashi did not move at all. In the hall, the Sandaime, Danzo, Yuditen Koharu, and Mito Kato-en, 4 people were waiting here. The Sandaime handed the order of the daimyo to Hyuga Hayashi. The cloud ninjas demand your body. I know it's wrong, but I have no choice. Konoha needs peace and can't stand it. After you die, I will take care of your Hyuga family. I guarantee it with my ninja way. Hyuga Hayashi nodded. I will go back tonight to arrange the funeral and won't cause you any trouble. The Sandaime, Danzo, and others saw that Hyuga Hayashi did not resist, and they immediately breathed a sigh of relief. After all, the Hyuga clan is a large clan. If they are really forced, it is hard to say what will happen. The Sanda patted Hayashi's shoulder, sighed and said, I will never forget your sacrifice for Konoha, we will never forget it, and the village will never forget it, so go with peace of mind. When Hyuga Hayashi was about to go back, suddenly, a huge roar was heard from 2 miles away. The flames shot up into the sky. They lit up half of Konoha, as bright as day. The Hokage's office exploded. The faces of the Sandai and others changed, and they all looked at Hyuga Hayashi. Hyuga Hayashi was confused what happened. The 4 people looked at Hyuga Hayashi's expression, which should not be fake, and they knew Hyuga Hayashi's character. It would be normal for him to resist a little, but he would never do such a rebellious and crazy act as blowing up the Hokage's office. Open your eyes. Hyuga Hayashi rolled his eyes, and the explosion site 2 miles away suddenly appeared in front of him. The office has collapsed. Hyuga Hayashi said in a low voice. Go. The 3rd Hokage was extremely anxious. There were many confidential documents in the Hokage's office. Usually, there were more guards, but today, because they were sent here, there were fewer guards. He didn't expect that someone would take advantage of the situation and break in. I hope no secrets have been stolen. The 3rd Hokage hoped. Hyuga Hayashi also tried his best to keep up. He was shocked and wondered who did it. Just as they were about to reach the explosion site, the Hokage office building had been burned to ruins by the huge flames. Several water ninjas were trying to put out the fire, but it was too late. At the same time, several bodies of Konoha ninjas were found beside the ruins. It's lightning release. The Sandai, Hyuga Hayashi and others immediately recognized the wounds on the corpses. The Sandai's eyes turned cold. Teams 1, 4, 8, and 12, immediately surround the Cloud Ninja. Yes, 15. Figures took the order and left quickly. But within 3 seconds, another explosion occurred in another place. The third generation was horrified. Oh no! It's my house, there is the sealed book. Just as he finished speaking, another explosion occurred in another place in the opposite direction. This time, Danzo and others all looked very different. It's the vault. The third generation was completely upset. Now Danzo, take the route to the vault. Hyuga clan leader, come with me to my house, and leave some people here to investigate the scene. The third generation has returned to its previous bravery, and the order is issued quickly. That night, the whole of Konoha was in chaos. The Hokage's office building was bombed. The sealed book was stolen. The vault was blown open and most of it was stolen. Some put out the fire, some chased the murderer. Half an hour later, the compound where the Lightning Country delegation lived was surrounded by Konoha ninjas. The atmosphere had dropped to freezing point. The leader of the delegation was still arrogant. This was definitely not done by our Lightning Country. You are slandering us. Do you think I would accuse you without evidence? The third generation was so angry that his eyes turned red. 3 bodies were brought in and placed on the ground. The Thunder Nation envoys looked at the 3 bodies and their eyes widened. You killed them. Chapter 22. The Sandai laughed in anger. You admit that these people are your people. Do you still want to deny it now? The leader of the delegation said with a cold face. I said, if it is not something we did, then it is not something we did. Hyuga Hayashi sneered. You wanted to kill my son last time, but you refused to admit it. Can your words be trusted? The Sandai did not believe the words of the Lightning Country delegation. Just surrender and wait for my investigation. The leader of the delegation said disdainfully. You dare to catch? The Sandai snorted coldly. Do you think we in Konoha dare not? The leader of the delegation threatened. Aren't you Konoha afraid of war? When the Sandai heard this, his temper exploded. War. If you want to fight, then fight. Then he was too lazy to say more, and waved his hand directly. Go, dare to resist, life or death. Soon, all the Lightning Country delegations were captured, and 5 resisting Cloud Ninjas were killed in the middle. The leader of the Lightning Country delegation was so angry that his forehead jumped. You will regret it. After hearing this, the Sandai's eyes became colder. Not long after, the Anbu ninja reported. Report to Lord Hokage. After investigation, it was found that 3 Cloud Ninjas were missing. Humph, he is probably on the run, keep searching. Soon after, a few very subtle clues were found in the yard, vaguely pointing to the sealed book, vault, etc. Humph! It's you who did it. After seeing this, the third Hokage couldn't hold back his anger. The leader of the Land of Lightning was stunned, then pointed at the third Hokage angrily and said, you must be framing me. However, the third Hokage didn't want to pay any attention to him, and began to issue Hokage orders, summoning all ninjas on missions outside, and at the same time looking for the 3 ninjas of Konoha, Jiraiya, and Tsunade. We in Konoha are not afraid of war. Come if you can. At the same time, 3 ninjas, including Kakuzu, who were behind the turmoil in Konoha, had already left Konoha and gathered 50 kilometers away. One of the ninjas leaned against a tree and said, it must be said that after the Nine Tails incident, Konoha's strength has been greatly reduced. It has become so easy to escape from Konoha. Another ninja also looked relaxed. It's still a matter of timing. Recently, some Konoha ninjas were sent to the border, and the Nine Tails attack caused heavy losses. In addition, most of the ninjas tonight are concentrated in the compound where the Lightning Country delegation is located, the Hyuga family, and the 3rd generation. This is a good opportunity. Then, they all looked at Kakuzu with surprise. Ninja 1, I thought the vault would be well guarded, but you succeeded. It seems you have hidden your strength. Kakuzu, it's because Konoha's forces are being drawn down, so there are fewer people in the vault, and then they succeeded. Ninja 2, forget it, let's divide the spoils, this time the harvest belongs to us. The 3 of them sat down and divided the spoils. A book of seals. A pile of money. When released by the space scroll, it directly knocked out the 2 ninjas. Wow! This is more than 1 billion, how many cage-level warriors would have to be killed to get the total? Sarutobi Asuma 35 million Ryo. We're rich, we're rich. The 2 ninjas laughed loudly, ecstatic, but a sinister light flashed in their eyes. Suddenly, poof, the hearts of the 2 men were pierced directly by 2 earth spears. Well. The 2 ninjas stared at Kakuzu. You. Kakuzu's mood remained unchanged. I'm sorry, the strength I showed you is less than 1/10 of my own. The 2 ninjas died with great reluctance. Kakuzu cleaned up the scene, took the money and the seal book away, and left quickly. In order to keep the little guy a secret, I can only let you two die. Who made you see him? With this money, maybe I can start a new life, a domineering president? It seems good. However, before that, we have to go to the hidden cloud village. We can't forget the little guy's plan. He turned in another direction and walked towards the cloud village. As he walked, in a canyon, a yellow-haired figure suddenly appeared beside him. He was wearing a black robe with red clouds and a row of carbon rods stuck in his nose. If Hyuga Tenriki saw him, he would definitely recognize him. Yahiko, Pain, 0. Kakuzu, here we go again. The last time he fought with Pain in front of him, Kakuzu was beaten to death. He is still scared. Pain, have you thought about it? Kakuzu, no, I have one more thing to do. I want to try to be a domineering president. Pain, what is a domineering president? Kakuzu, I don't know, but I think he looks awesome. Pain was sweating, are you kidding me? Kakuzu, by the way, do you accept business? Pain, what business? Kakuzu, destroy the Kumagakure village at a price of 1 billion, you decide the extent of the damage. Pain, deal. Kakuzu looked at Pain and sighed, masters also need money, money is still good, it's omnipotent. Pain, who was about to turn around and leave, heard this and almost stumbled and fell. You have money, you are awesome. The next day, news spread throughout the ninja world. Konoha's vault was robbed and the sealed book was taken away. The Fire Nation is going to war with the Cloud Ninja. Jiraiya and Tsunade, two of the legendary three ninjas, returned to Konoha and are actively preparing for war. The ninja world was in an uproar. The entire ninja world turned its attention to the land of fire and the land of lightning. Many countries and ninja villages were afraid that the world would not be in chaos, and they kept shouting fight! Fight! On the third day, the Cloud Ninja was attacked, the two-tailed Jinchuriki was captured by the Wooden Man, the eight-tailed Jinchuriki and the Rakich's younger brother Killer Bee were seriously injured, and 3/10 of the village was directly reduced to ruins. The ninja world suddenly became quiet. Chapter 23. In the 52nd year of Konoha, spring. Witnessed by the daimyo of the Land of Fire and the delegation of the Land of Lightning, and under the attention of all the villagers and visitors of Konoha, the Hidden Cloud Ninja Village and the Hidden Leaf Village officially announced the conclusion of an alliance. This alliance was concluded when neither side wanted to accept it. The Book of Seals of Konoha was stolen, and a small part of the treasury was stolen. Its reputation plummeted, and it was insufficient in strength, so it could only accept it with its nose pinched. The Hidden Cloud Ninja Village was also unhappy, but the Two-Tails Jinchuriki was captured and disappeared, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki was seriously injured, and the village was destroyed. It was simply unable to start a national war, especially when the opponent was a ninja village like Konoha that had won the second and third wars. With both sides holding back their anger, the alliance was concluded. Then they went back to their homes and spent a lot of effort to find the mastermind behind the scenes. But even if they died, they would never have thought that the mastermind behind the scenes was only 3 years old at this time. And he was free and easy under their noses. The villagers of Konoha were in a state of excitement, with laughter and celebration everywhere. Finally, there is no need for war, that's great. Yes, we can have a few more peaceful years. The Hyuga family has escaped a disaster, and the clan leader doesn't have to die. I heard that the Hyuga clan leader was ready to sacrifice himself that night, but something happened in Konoha that night. Alas, none of this matters, what matters is peace. Yes, peace. Cheers to peace. Cheers. The Hyuga family. At this time, the Hyuga family has returned to its former bustle, and everyone has a smile on their face. Almost every member of the Hyuga family is talking about the embarrassment of the Kumo ninja. This guy is really awesome. He actually flattened 3/10 of the Cloud Village with just one move. Looking at the photo, it's just a huge pit. I heard that more than 3/10, at least half of them were destroyed. The Kumo ninja was embarrassed to say that it was so tragic, so he only said 3/10. Haha, I feel like this ultimate move is so satisfying. Yeah, it's so satisfying. I really want to know who this person is. It seems that such a strong person has never appeared in the ninja world. I haven't heard of it. At least it's at the level of Hokage, or even more powerful. The Hyuga family members were so relieved. At this time, Hyuga Hayashi was inviting Hyuga Hisashi and Niji to come to the main family for a family dinner. After this incident, the two brothers, who were originally very tense, began to let go of their grudges and became close. You know, they didn't even want to see each other before, and even if they did, they would have cold faces. At the table, the family was in harmony, talking and laughing. After eating and drinking, Hyuga Hayashi said something that shocked Hyuga Hisashi. Tianli proposed to me that we should come up with a plan to remove the caged bird curse for all the clan members who have made contributions to the clan. The cup in Hyuga Hayashi's hand fell down. He looked at Tianli with a look of shock and gratitude. Chat among yourselves, Hyuga. Tenriki ate the last ball of rice, and pulled Hinata and Niji out of the room. Hyuga Tenriki was in a very relaxed mood at this moment. He had changed Hisashi's fate, and at the same time changed Hyuga Niji's tragedy, which was considered a success. At the same time, Hyuga Tenriki also received a coded letter from Kakuzu, saying that 1/3 of the money had been spent, and at the same time, the two partner ninjas who had met Tenriki were killed to keep the secret, and the Book of Seals had been re-recorded, and the original one had been destroyed. In addition, Kakuzu also told Tenriki about his future plans, saying that he had gathered the scientists he had found in the past year, and was going to open a technology company to develop mobile phones according to Tenriki's plan, and was ready to try the taste of a domineering president. As for the company's shares, half of them were given to Tenriki. At the same time, he also talked about Akatsuki, and the matter of hiring Akatsuki to destroy 1/3 of Konoha. Xiao? According to the description, the person who is looking for Kakuzu should be Six Paths Pain. No wonder the photos of the destroyed Kumagakura looked familiar. It turned out to be the ultimate move of Shinra Tensei. It solved everything, and he also got the Book of Seals by the way. At the same time, he also pulled Kakuzu on the warship to make money for himself. With Kakuzu's greed for money, it is estimated that he made money very quickly. As for why he chose the technology of mobile phone, it is mainly because human society is still stuck in pigeons, eagles, and other communication tools. When Konoha took the Chunin exam in 60 years, radio calls appeared, but this radio had defects. The signal transmission distance was too short, less than 5 kilometers, and it was not as effective as the barking of ninja dogs. Therefore, it could only be used in short-distance combat. Long-distance video calls appeared in the Fourth Ninja World War TV station. From Kakuzu's letter, the basic research and development conditions of mobile phone have been achieved, but it still needs to be studied. I believe that after the mobile phone comes out, the profit must be considerable. Kakuzu's tone in the letter is full of passion. Return to the room and close the door. Tianli unfolds a scroll, the Book of Seals. This book records many forbidden techniques and secret techniques from the first to the fourth Hokage. Some of them are banned because they are too costly to use, and some are too confidential to be learned. Let me see if there is any ninjutsu that I am interested in. Wood release, tree binding eternal burial. Wood release, great forest technique. Wood style, diamond summoning wood. 8 gates. Multiple shadow clone technique. Flying thunder god. Time boundary. 4 symbol seal, 8 diagram seal. Contract seal. Ghoul confinement. Sealing technique, soul blade. Space barrier. Ninjutsu is densely packed, a lot of them, especially the first generations would escape. However, Tenryuwu was very interested in sealing techniques. After all, he will probably encounter the immortal pervert of the impure world reincarnation in the future. The first is Shiki Fusion, the Super S-level ultimate sealing technique. Using this technique is the ultimate ninjutsu that summons the god of death and causes the god of death to devour the enemy. Then there are the 4 symbols and 8 trigram seals, which directly seal the 9 tails. Then there is the sealing technique, Soul Blade, to deal with the side effects of Shiki Fusion. One soul is taken by the god of death. This is the sealing ninjutsu that the 4th Hokage uses after using Shiki Fusion. Because he has a one-time immunity to the god of death, that is, the summoning buffer stage after the creation of ninjutsu, he can divide the enemy's chakra into several different types. For example, the 9 tails is divided into yin and yang, and turn it into a soul. Chapter 24. The next day, the Hyuga clan leader announced a piece of news that instantly made the entire Hyuga clan excited. After the proposal of the young clan leader Hyuga Tenriki, the clan leader and the great elders studied and agreed to release the following new clan rules. From today on, all those who have made significant contributions to the clan, or whose strength has been reviewed by the clan to reach the level of upper ninja, can apply to remove the caged bird curse. As soon as the news came out, the cheers of the Hyga clan exploded throughout Konoha. One by one, the clan members ran around to tell each other, beaming with joy and crying with joy. The young patriarch is such a nice guy. Long live the young patriarch! Long live the clan leader! The atmosphere of the branch family was unprecedentedly high, and the number of trainees on the training ground also skyrocketed. Countless people hoped to reach the level of Jonin through training in the future, pass the family assessment, and get in touch with the caged bird. Looking at the bustling training ground, Hyga Hayashi couldn't help but sigh. My son still thinks long term. He did control it before, but it was lifeless. Hyga Hayashi stood aside at this time, feeling a lot of emotion. He had already released the caged bird last night and regained his freedom. And Hyga Tenriki, standing on the other side, watched the children babbling in training, very cute, in a good mood. After experiencing this crisis, Hyga Tenriki realized the insufficiency of his own strength. He needs to be stronger so that he can protect the Hyga family. He needs to be stronger so that he is not afraid of the threats of the Hokage and the Cloud Ninja. He needs to be stronger so that he can dominate the ninja world and no one dares to provoke him. Strength. It is the foundation of this world. So Hyga Tenriki set higher requirements for himself in his heart. 1 year later. In the 53rd year of Konoha. The ninja world was peaceful, and nothing major happened. Jiraiya, one of the 3 legendary ninjas of pornography, gambling, and drugs, continued to spy on girls everywhere, and Tsunade saw that Konoha was no longer in danger, so she went everywhere to soothe her inner scars. On March 27 of this year, Hyga Nami, who had been pregnant for 10 months, gave birth to a daughter again and named her Hyga Hanabi. Hyga Tenriki had another lovely sister. At this time, Hyga Tenriki, who had worked hard for a year, used the Cloud Ninja secret technique remnant combined with some secret techniques in the Book of Seals and the collection of the Hyga family. After countless experiments, he finally developed a new type of ninja body technique. Ninjutsu, air shield, in the air in front of any part of the body, condense chakra into a chakra shield, similar to toughness rating, 9 stars, even Niji's soft fist with 2 times the chakra amount cannot break it. Ninjutsu, star breaking, the hand instantly releases extremely powerful chakra to strike forward. Attack direction, 1 way. Attribute, can break through the air. Attack strength, 9 stars, enough to break 2x chakra defense ninjutsu. Ninjutsu, activation, instantly release chakra to improve your speed, physique, strength, and defense. Improvement level, can improve physical fitness by 1 to 2 times each, practical evaluation 9 stars. These 3 ninjutsu, a combination of defense, attack, and basic physical attributes, are simple, practical, and comprehensive. For ordinary people, they can't master such ninjutsu at all. Just the fact that chakra is ejected from various acupoints in the body is enough to stump them. Only the Hyga clan can learn it. However, when Hyga Tenriki taught Hinata, he found that Hinata couldn't learn it at all, and then handed it to Niji, who was still a genius, but couldn't learn it either. In the end, Hyga Hayashi wanted to learn it, but still failed. After summarizing, Hyga Tenriki attributed the reason to the auxiliary breakthrough of the system, directly from the entry to the mastery stage. However, this ninjutsu is not very powerful at present, and the amount of chakra consumed is too large, and Hyga Tenriki can't bear it at all. The final problem is back to the original place, the amount of chakra. However, chakra is not as much as you want. After all, Hyga Tenriki is not a 9-tailed Jinchuriki like Naruto. Hyga Tenriki had no choice but to use the multiple shadow clones he learned from the Book of Seals to allow more shadow clones to practice chakra together. In September of the same year, Hyga Niji officially entered the Konoha Ninja School to receive formal ninja training. However, every day when Hyga Niji came back, he would complain to Hyga Tenriki that the things in school were too simple and boring. "There, you will meet your good friend Hyga," Tenriki said with a smile. Tenten, and the passionate Lee, and the future teacher Might Guy, that is the bond of Hyga Niji's life. Hyga Niji naturally didn't know what Tenten meant, so he could only scratch his head and continue to go to school every day. If he was bored, he would challenge the advanced class to relieve his boredom. Because of this, Hyga Niji still easily became a genius in the ninja school, attracting attention from all parties, and even the 3rd generation of Hokage had heard of it. Perhaps it was God's will, Hyga Niji soon had 2 more friends, Tenten and Lee, and sometimes he would bring them to the Hyga family for dinner. Hyga Tenriki also saw the real person at this time. Tenten, a girl with two sky-high buns and a sweet and cute appearance, is very likable. She and Niji are a popular CP combination among the Hokage. There is another person, Li, who has not been poisoned by Might Guy at this time. Tenten shouted passionately, and was considered a very diligent and shy child. After challenging a senior class student, Tenten looked at Niji's clean and neat figure and couldn't help but admire him. Ninkai, you are awesome. You are a genius. Ninkai was not very excited, he said seriously, I am far behind the young master, I need to work harder. Xiao Li, is your young master awesome? I felt he was just average the last time I saw him. Ninkai, the young master is awesome, but he seldom shows it. Even if there are 10 of us, I don't think we can beat him. So powerful. Xiao Li and Tianzhen. The two couldn't help but recall the scene when they saw the young master of the Hyga family, cool, handsome, rich gold. It was eye-catching. As for strong, I really didn't feel. Chapter 25. The streets of Konoha are bustling. Brother, I want to buy this little windmill. Hinata pulled Tianli's sleeve and said excitedly and shyly. Okay, buy it for my Hinata. Tianli, who was wearing a rich gold suit, spent money to buy a small windmill for Hinata. Hinata was holding a lot of small toys in her hands. Tianli had been practicing all the time. Even Hyga Hayashi was a little scared of his crazy energy. Then he instigated Hinata to take Tianli out for a walk to relax. Hinata, who rarely had the opportunity to go shopping with her brother, naturally couldn't help but have fun when she came out. Without the pressure of inheriting the head of the clan, she was completely different from the dullness in the original plot. Although she was still shy, she was also very lively. After a long meal of Ichiraku ramen, she touched her belly happily. Awesome! Tianli gave Uncle Yul a thumbs up. Young master, come more often. Uncle Ichiraku said with a smile. After eating, he took Hinata out for a while, and saw a roar of dissatisfaction and grief from the other side of the street. Listen, I will definitely become the Hokage, just wait and see. A yellow-haired child shouted angrily at the adults and children who were pointing fingers at him. That kid again. Hate, damn nine tails. SHH, don't say that, that's forbidden. Tianli looked at Naruto, who was like a walking corpse, and sighed, feeling that Konoha was really full of indifference. Human feelings are as thin as paper, and the world is as confusing as a chess game. Naruto is the son of the 4th Hokage after all, and the 3rd Hokage could actually watch him live in such humiliation. If Naruto was not the reincarnation of the good old man Ashura, and if he was forced to cheat, he would have turned evil and become a big evil boss like Nagato and Obito. Hinata said curiously at this time, Nine-tailed fox? What is the nine-tailed fox? Tianli touched her hair. Haha, you don't need to know these. But he is a poor man, I will treat him to ramen when I have time. After continuing to stroll around, the excited Hinata finally wanted to take a break. Brother, there is a small park over there. Let's go sit down and have a rest. Good. As a result, when they turned a corner, 3 children who were chasing each other ran into them head-on. Tianli directly pulled Hinata behind. The 3 children were bounced back as if they had hit a wall and fell to the ground. Hyga Tianli took a look and immediately recognized the 3 people. Aren't these 3 the 3 children who bullied Hinata in the original story and then met the hero Naruto who saved her? These 3 are easy to recognize. One has one written on his hat, one has Jin written on his clothes, and one has San written on his clothes. It's delivered to my doorstep. Tianli looked at the 3 people with an unfriendly look. At this time, the 3 brothers stared at the ice cream that fell on the ground in a daze, and pointed at Tianli in anger. Hey, you knocked over my ice cream. Hey, these 2 guys are from the Hyga family, right? It's true, these eyes. Is he Ningji's younger brother or sister? Definitely is. Ninkai beat me up several times. Look at this guy's eyes, is he looking down on us? His personality is as bad as Niji's. They are just descendants of famous families with a better starting point. If we have the conditions, we will definitely be better than them. What is there to brag about? The eldest of them pointed his finger at Tianli's shoulder like a second-rate person, and said. You knocked over my ice cream and you don't apologize. Bang! He responded with a kick, knocking him to the ground. Ah, you dare to hit me, come on, beat him up together. The three of them were so angry that they rushed towards Tianli and prepared to beat him up. Bang bang bang! He kicked them down with 3 heavy kicks. To deal with such a weakling, Tianli didn't even need to use his strength. Let's go! Tianli looked at the three with disdain and turned away. Don't go, they. 3 children covered their stomachs in pain, unable to get up, and could only howl. As a result, Tianli turned back suddenly, and that look scared them like trembling quails huddled in their nests. Tianli Hinata, to deal with this kind of gangster, just use heavy hands. Hinata okay, brother. She listened to her brother's words. The 2 of them left, leaving the 3 children with the handsome golden figure. When they came to the small park, Tianli saw Naruto at a glance. At this time, Naruto was swinging on the swing alone, with his head down, a lonely face, and a gloomy mood. Hinata brother, it's him again. Tianli touched Hinata's head. Let's go and make friends. At this moment, the protective guard who had been hiding behind them suddenly ran out to stop them. Master Tianli, we must not have any contact with this child. Tianli said calmly. He is just a poor person, there is nothing wrong with him. The guard said but. Tianli's eyes narrowed back off. The guard was stunned for a moment, and finally said yes. Young Master Tianli has been extraordinary since he was a child, and he cannot go against his wishes. Moreover, the young master's momentum just now was so strong. The guard retreated, and Tianli walked over with Hinata. Naruto was stunned when he saw Tianli and Hinata coming over. From childhood to adulthood, everyone avoided him like a plague, and no one took the initiative to approach him. Are you here to scold me? But I won't take it to heart. I am going to become the Hokage, and I will definitely get your approval in the future. Naruto yelled in dissatisfaction, but Tianli heard the fragile mood in it. Tianli smiled, showing his sunny white teeth. I'm not here to scold you, I'm here to treat you to ramen. Treat me to ramen. Naruto was overjoyed. Really? Tianli nodded. Of course it's true. Suddenly Naruto pointed at Tianli and exclaimed, ah! I remember you. I remember you, when I was 3 years old, you treated me to ramen once. That was the first time someone treated me to ramen. I will always remember it. As he spoke, he became excited and cried. Chapter 26. If we talk about who the most admired person in Naruto, Naruto is the first one. He has experienced countless darkness, but he still hasn't turned evil. He is really awesome. When people hate someone and don't recognize his existence, their eyes will be full of coldness and frightening. And Naruto, under such gazes, lived alone for more than 10 years. This is no longer perseverance, but... Boom! Damn it, this is totally cheating. Wow, so you are the young master of the Hyuga family. When Naruto had his first friend, he was so happy that he lost his mind. He was not at all stable and mature and kept shouting all the way. Uncle Yul, give me 3 bowls of noodles. They. 3 of them came to Yul Noodle House, and Tianli greeted them directly. Okay. Uncle Ichiraku smiled, and in less than 5 seconds, 3 bowls of hot and fragrant ramen were placed in front of the 3 people. Tianli, this speed is indeed much faster than the seal. Haha, I'm not welcome. Naruto started violently, which was also his innocence. This is the first time someone treats me to ramen like this. This is the first time a friend invited me to eat like this. Delicious. This is the best ramen I have ever had. I will remember this for the rest of my life. Naruto ate happily at first, but the more he ate, the more he wanted to cry. He cried for having his first friend, and also for being recognized. After finishing his ramen, Tenriki and Hinata went home. He is so strange, he has no friends and no parents. Hinata was a little confused. There will be later, Tianli said. In the future, his parents will appear, he will have a lot of friends, he will become a hero of Konoha, and even become the 7th Hokage. However, Tianli's goal is also to become a Hokage, to see what it feels like to be the Hokage who controls the most powerful power in the world. This may be a different experience. I want to be a different Hokage. A Hokage who changes the rules of Konoha and changes the world. Tenri thought in his heart. As soon as Tenri and Hinata stepped into the gate of the Hyuga family, the voice of Hyuga Hayashi appeared. I heard that you 2 had contact with that kid today. Yes, father. That's fine, you can try to get to know him later. Hyuga Hayashi said. Hyga Tenriki was stunned. He didn't even forbid it. Time flies, and another year has passed. It is the 54th year of Konoha. The name of Itachi's genius, who was only 12 years old, continued to spread in Konoha. He was promoted to Chunin. Soon after, he joined the Anbu and went on missions with Kakashi and Tenzo, Yamato. When he joined, his young age naturally made a group of seniors dislike him, and then they made things difficult for him, and then he was bullied instead of pretending to be cool. In the end, Itachi's strength was recognized by the Anbu team. In September, maple leaves fell. The annual enrollment of Konoha Ninja School finally began. All 5-year-old children began to be screened and entered the ninja school for training. Naruto's family got up early at this time, dressed happily and rushed out of the house, running wildly towards the ninja school. I heard from Tianli that there are many people of the same age in the school, and I can make many good friends. Naruto, who has a keen expectation for friends, was so excited that he did not sleep well last night, tossing and turning thinking about the beautiful life in the future. At the Uchiha family, Uchiha Mikoto is helping Sasuke with his clothes. Sasuke is going to school today. I heard there are a lot of kids there. Sasuke can make a lot of friends. Uchiha. Mikoto smiled. I don't want to play with those little brats, they are so childish, I want to play with my brother. Uchiha Sasuke said. As a person who often hangs out with his brother and has been exposed to powerful ninjutsu, Sasuke has long looked down on the children's playful fighting. In his heart, he has long looked down on those peers. My brother is very busy, so he may not have much time to play with Sasuke. Mikoto smiled. My brother always says he's busy, how annoying. Sasuke pouted and said dissatisfiedly. At this time, Sasuke still had his innocence and cuteness. Uchiha Fukuoka next to him laughed and said, Sasuke is a little genius, but there is also a little genius from the Hyuga family who is enrolled this year. His name is Hyuga Tenryu. You will know him then. Sasuke said disdainfully, Tisk, genius? I am the genius. Uchiha Fukuoka shook his head. The young master of the Hyuga family is not an ordinary genius. After packing up all his things, Sasuke also set off. Hyuga family. Hyuga Nami was doing something similar to Uchiha Mikoto, tidying up Hyuga Tenriki and Hyuga Hinata's clothes and constantly nagging them. Make more friends at school. Also, Tianli must take good care of his sister and don't let others bully her. Don't be too tired, Mom will make delicious food for you when you come back. Hyuga Hayashi, who was standing next to him, covered his forehead, obviously having a headache. It will be hard in ninja school, and don't spoil them too much. Hyuga Nami was dissatisfied, and put her hands on her hips. What's wrong with me caring about my son and daughter? Is it not okay? Hyuga Hayashi had a headache and retreated quickly. Hyuga Hanabi is almost 2 years old now, and follows Tenriki and Hinata like a little tail, playing all day long. She is the most unhappy about her brother and sister going to school. No one will play with her in the future, so she pouts and needs an for. I really want to grow up quickly so I can go out and play. At the same time, the Yamanaka Ino family, the Harano Sakura family, the Inoshikacho family, the Abarame Shino family, the Inyazuka Kaiba family. All of them were excitedly looking forward to the enrollment of the ninja school. Today is a sunny day. Chapter 27. Konoha Ninja School. When Tenryu and Hinata came here, it was already bustling with people. There were many children and adults here, and even some children were seen crying as if they were not weaned. The appearance of Hyuga Tenryu immediately became the focus of everyone's attention. The golden patterned robe showed his rich temperament. His sunny smile made people feel good about him. He was a little taller than other children of the same age, and he stood out from the crowd. His handsome face always made people take a few more glances. Who is this kid? You don't know this? He is the eldest son of the Hyuga family, a wealthy family in Konoha. What's his name? I think his name is Hyuga Tenriki. I heard that he and the girl next to him are twins, which is very rare in Konoha. Very handsome, and has a good family background, so enviable. The adults were whispering, and the children looked at Hyuga Tenriki with resentment. Is this the legendary child from other people's families? Especially some boys, they looked at Tenriki with jealousy. There were also many girls who had hearts in their eyes after seeing Tenriki, secretly saying that he was so handsome. At this time, Koji was eating continuously, Abarame Shino was playing with insects, Inyazuka Kaiba was teasing the ninja dog he had raised together since childhood, and Shikamaru was looking at the white clouds. At this time, in a classroom on the second floor of the classroom, senior students were looking at the freshmen outside through the window. There are a lot of new students this year. Hey, everyone, look at that freshman wearing gold, he really deserves a beating. So handsome? Unforgivable. After school, we will teach him a lesson. Right. Just then, a disdainful tisk interrupted their shouting. You guys are just a bunch of scum, and you dare to bully him? Do you know who he is? A student looked at these students with disdain. Who is it? He is the young master of the Hyuga family. The young master of the Hyuga family, several students who were still shouting suddenly booed. The strongest student and one of the geniuses of the ninja school, Hyuga Niji, was in the next class. They didn't dare to provoke the Hyuga family, lest they be punished by Hyuga Niji. When these people stopped shouting, the other three wearing one benevolence, the student in the third grade still looked at the golden-robed boy among the freshmen with resentment. That person last year was him. He was so handsome. I will never forget him. We have learned a lot of basic ninjutsu this year, so we can definitely teach him a lesson. Let's stop him after our school. At this time, in the next class, Hyuga Niji looked at Tenriki and Hinata and was delighted. Tian, your young master is here. Xiao Li, I really want to fight him. At this time, Tian Li was looking for the 9 little warriors of Konoha among the new students. Harano Sakura, Nara Shikamaru, Akimichi Koji, Yamanaka Ino, Abarame Shino, and Inyazuka Kaiba all saw them, but not Naruto and Sasuke. Not yet. What Tian Li didn't know was that Naruto was suffering from diarrhea because of drinking expired milk. As for Sasuke, because the Uchiha station was remote. Soon after, the teacher came and led all the freshmen into the classroom. The freshman teacher happened to be the really popular and kind teacher in the original plot, Irika. Okay, now everyone come up to the stage, introduce yourself, talk about your dreams, hobbies, and interests. Irika said with a gloomy face. Irika was in a bad mood. The task assigned this time was to become the teacher of the 9-tailed fox demon. He hated Naruto, the incarnation of the fox demon, very much. His father died on the night when the 9-tailed attacked Konoha. However, he had to accept the task of Hokage. My name is Fukunaga Maki, and my hobby is. My name is Nara Shikamaru. My hobbies are taking naps, watching clouds, and playing shogi. I hate troubles. My dream is. My name is Akimichi Koji. I like potato chips, barbecue, and ramen. I hate having nothing to eat. My dream is to have a pie in the sky. They introduced themselves one by one. When the 6th person was introduced, Sasuke and Naruto arrived. Sasuke's arrival made the girls in the class scream, so cool, as handsome as Master Hyuga. But when Naruto arrived, Irika's face suddenly darkened, and the students in the class also fell silent. He is here too. In the same class with him. Everyone showed disgusted expressions, without hiding it at all. Naruto was originally looking forward to this enrollment, but he felt so many disgusted looks and his mood was gone all of a sudden. Hyuga Tenriki sighed. In fact, the 4th Hokage wanted everyone to regard Naruto as a hero, and he sealed the 9 tails with this hope and died. And for the sake of the village, Naruto became the vessel to seal the 9 tails, and he should be a hero. But the adults didn't see Naruto that way, and some even began to call Naruto a sealed fox demon. The adults' attitude towards Naruto had unknowingly affected the children. But the 3rd Hokage ordered everyone to keep silent and used severe punishments as a precept, resulting in the new generation of children not knowing why Naruto was despised by adults, and just hated him because the adults hated him. This is such a fucked up system, fucked up Konoha, fucked up 3rd Hokage. Naruto, come and sit here. Tenli called out. When Naruto saw Tenli, he was immediately surprised. Haha, you come to school too, that's great. Then Naruto sat next to Tenli happily. Soon it was Naruto's turn to go on stage and introduce himself. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, I like Ichiraku ramen, and my dream is to become a Hokage and be recognized by everyone. Naruto's words caused a burst of laughter. Haha, you still want to be Hokage? This is so funny. Ha ha ha. Idiot, he probably doesn't even know what Naruto is. Then it was Hyuga Tenri's turn to introduce himself. As soon as Tenri came on stage, he glanced and everyone shut up. My name is Hyuga Tenriki. I like to practice, I like my family and my sister. I have 3 dreams. One is to protect my family, one is to become a Hokage, and the last one is to become the strongest ninja in the human world. The strongest. Silence. Silence. Everyone was speechless. Everyone stared at Hyuga Tenriki in a daze. Sasuke looked at Tenriki and felt very unhappy. He was robbed of the limelight. Chapter 28. 3 dreams, one is to protect his family, one is to become a Hokage, and the last one is to become the strongest ninja in the human world. The strongest. In the Hokage's office, the 3rd generation was watching the movements of the new students through a crystal ball. Among them, Hyuga Tenriki was the one he paid the most attention to. And the dream that Hyuga Tenriki talked about also shocked him. This dream is indeed extraordinary. Moreover, he wants to become a Hokage, which shows that he regards Konoha as his home. Soon he saw Sasuke coming on stage. Sasuke walked onto the stage and took a look at Hyuga Tenriki, who was better than him. His proud heart became dissatisfied. My dream must not lose to yours. Sasuke thought proudly. Irika asked, what is this classmate's hobby? What does he hate? What is his dream? Sasuke glanced at Hyuga Tenriki. My name is Uchiha Sasuke, I like wooden fish, rice balls and tomatoes, I hate natto and sweets, my dream is to become a Hokage and the most powerful ninja in the ninja world. When Uchiha Sasuke finished saying this, he suddenly felt something was wrong. Damn! I actually imitated his words. Shame! Sasuke, who has always been proud, felt ashamed in an instant. But soon he pretended to be cool and snorted to cover up his embarrassment and returned to his seat. Wow, Sasuke-kun is so cool. So handsome. A bunch of crazy fans howled. Naruto looked unhappy, but when he saw Sakura Harino, who was crazy about Sasuke, not far away, his eyes suddenly lit up and he fell in love with her. He ran over without paying attention to the class and said, "Hello, my name is Uzumaki Naruto, what's your name? Can I treat you to a meal today? You pig, get out of here." Sakura Harino, who was in a state of infatuation, was disturbed and immediately became furious. She punched Naruto and sent him flying, throwing him against the wall, unable to get him out. Tianli rolled his eyes. The wheel of history is always so awesome. Fortunately, Naruto and Hinata have no intersection. As a sister control maniac, Tianli doesn't want Hinata to be a couple with Naruto. She should be a couple with the violent Sakura. Naruto, get out of here and stand there. Irika was furious when he saw Naruto disrupting the class and drove him out. At this time, he was still the Irika who hated the 9 tails. He had not yet begun to understand Naruto's heart and had not yet transformed into a good teacher. The first lesson of school ended with such a noisy self-introduction. The school bell rang. A group of students, unable to stay still, suddenly shouted excitedly. Run out like crazy. Hinata, go home. Okay, brother. When they were halfway there, 3 figures suddenly appeared in front of them. Stop right there. Do you still remember us? Hyuga Tianli covered his forehead. It was you 3 again, 123, and turned to Hinata and said, you can handle them this time, right? Your ideal is to become an outstanding ninja, right? No problem, brother. Hinata said with a firm look in her eyes. At this time, the movement here quickly attracted many students to watch. A shout of fighting attracted other students to rush over quickly. At this moment, Naruto rushed over, pointed at the 123 and shouted, you 3, if you want to beat my friend, you must get past me, Uzumaki Naruto first. 123 laughed. Yo, isn't this the idiot? I didn't expect you to be so brave. Since you want to be beaten so much, I'll beat you first. Naruto, come on. The 2 sides started fighting. Then, bang! Ah! Poof! Naruto was killed instantly, beaten into a pig head, squatting in the corner and drawing circles. The opponent was trained as a ninja, with chakra in his body, and was far from being dealt with by a kid like Naruto who knew nothing. The gap in strength between the 2 sides was too big. Bah, you are so bad but still stand up for justice. San said with disdain. Tianli shook his head and said to Hinata, you go ahead. Hinata, yes, brother. 3 looked at Hinata arrogantly. Come on, I must take revenge this time. The 2 rushed towards each other and soon started fighting. Punches and kicks were thrown back and forth, and the fight was evenly matched and difficult to determine. The students watching from all around were shocked. Bravo! That girl is so amazing, she can actually fight with senior students. Oh my god, are all the Hyuga families so powerful? San, hearing the growing discussions around him, he began to feel ashamed and annoyed. He was a senior student at the ninja school, but he actually tied with a freshman who had just entered? It was unforgivable. But he knew that he had tried his best and had only managed to tie with the girl in front of him. Is she a monster? How can a little girl be so strong? 3. Was so ashamed that she almost cried. Hinata, don't hold back. Hinata said. Yes. Brother. Hinata's movements suddenly became decisive. Bun, open. Bagua, 2 palms. 4 palms. Bang. 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 Clean and neat. San was completely unable to react and had no power to fight back. He was knocked out and beaten into a pig's head. The students around him were in an uproar. They first looked at San with contempt, and then looked at Hinata with admiration. Wow wow wow! Mother! 3 ran away crying. 1 Jin was naturally angry when he saw his brother being beaten and crying, and then he didn't care about the majority bullying the minority, and rushed up to fight Hinata. Unfortunately, it was useless. Bagua, 2 palms, 4 palms, 8 palms, 16 palms. Crushed past directly. Ah! 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 1 Ren had no power to fight back and was beaten into a pig head, screaming in agony, even worse than San just now. This girl is so amazing. The eldest daughter of the Hyuga family? So amazing. Isn't this senior student really bad? Right, was he beaten by a freshman like this? Everyone around praised Hinata, and everyone despised 1 and 2. 1 Ren is so ashamed, wow! With a cry, she ran home to seek comfort from her parents. Tianli gave Hinata a thumbs up, well done. Hinata blushed, thank you for the compliment, brother. Tianli waved his hand, let's go home. Naruto shouted, wait for me. At this time, Sasuke came over, coolly blocked the road in front of him, and pointed at Tianli with a proud face. I, Uchiha Sasuke, want to fight you. Chapter 29. I, Uchiha Sasuke, want to compete with you. Sasuke, wearing a cool blue shirt and shorts, pointed at Hyuga Tenriki coolly. Hyuga Tenriki smiled brightly, okay, I heard that you are a genius of the Uchiha family, and I am a genius of the Hyuga family, let's compete. Sasuke said coldly, come on, I hope you won't let me down. Wow wow wow. So handsome. Awesome. Come on Sasuke. Come on Tenli. A group of crazy fans in the school began to yell. Hearing that the young masters of the Hyuga family and the Uchiha family were going to fight, the teacher was also alarmed and hurried over. Hyuga Ninkai and others had already arrived at the periphery and watched aggressively. The classmate next to him asked curiously, hey, Ninkai, aren't you afraid that your young master will lose? Ninkai sneered, the young master will lose? Don't joke. He added in his heart, the young master is a genius who can defeat even the Hyuga family ninjas, how could he lose? Tian, this is the first time I see your young master fight, I'm very curious. In the Hokage's office, the 3rd generation peeked through the crystal ball and sighed, what youth. Sasuke got ready, come on. Tenli stood in front of him, handsomely swung his golden handsome coat, his hair flying, handsome and boundless, with beautiful teeth slightly showing at the corners of his mouth, come on. Then the people around him cooperated and gave so handsome cheers. Sasuke couldn't complain, he stole my limelight again. At the same time, he was thinking, should he get himself a handsome coat? No, gold is too imitative, it's hateful, such a cool color like gold was stolen, I really can't accept it. Otherwise, I'll just choose red and yellow. Sasuke was turned gay by Tianli, he used to wear blue shirt and shorts all the time, but now he actually started to think about the coat. If Uchiha Fukiu knew that his son actually started to think about those messy things, he would probably be so angry that he would vomit blood because of Hyuga Tianli. Hey, hey, hey! You are distracted. Tianli reminded. I wasn't distracted. Sasuke shook his head vigorously, refusing to admit it. Yes, he would never admit it. As a ninja, he was distracted in this way. It was too embarrassing. Sasuke couldn't stand his tsundere mood. He was so ashamed and angry that he shouted, I'm coming. Then, whoosh, he rushed towards Tianli. Hiss, hiss, hiss. Everyone around gasped. The speed was too fast. This was totally unlike the speed of a rookie. Even a senior student might not be able to reach this speed. Hyuga Tenriki narrowed his eyes and thought to himself that Sasuke was indeed a genius. This speed was not weaker than Nisi, who was 1 year older. And judging by his pace, he must be very flexible. This should be the result of Itachi taking him to the Uchiha clan weapon shop, the Cat Lady, for special training on cat claws, paw balls. These were all thought out in a flash, and at this time, Sasuke had already appeared in front of Tianli. A punch. Fast and powerful. Tianli directly used a soft fist to move 1,000 pounds, and nimbly pushed the punch away. However, Sasuke's body was very flexible, and his other hand and 2 feet also attacked at strange angles. Tianli also casually used his palm to push the attack aside. Calm and relaxed. How could there be such a big difference? Sasuke gritted his teeth and continued to attack, but unfortunately he was easily blocked by Tianli. Although the fight between the two seemed simple, it was very shocking to outsiders. Too fast. The speed of the two sides using fists and feet was very fast, and many newcomers could not keep up with their eyes. They could only see a mess with their mouths wide open. How could it be so powerful? The teacher could see it clearly, and was full of surprise, shocked that these two outstanding students came out of this class. Seeing that the close attack was not enough, Sasuke jumped away and took out 2 shuriken. The teacher saw the shuriken and was shocked no. But at this time the 2 shuriken had already whooshed. With a sound, it flew out, and the teacher was completely unable to react. Get out of the way! The teacher yelled at Tianli with a terrified face. All the newcomers were terrified. Those were shurikens, sharp shurikens. If they were shot in the head or other important parts, it would be fatal. But Hyuga Tianli smiled and poked his index finger up to the sky. And saw that the center holes of the 2 shurikens were directly pierced by the index finger and kept spinning in the finger. Just caught it like that. Everyone's eyes widened, staring at that finger in a daze. And that golden light shining on the sun. It was so dazzling under the sun. After a long time, countless exclamations rang out. Oh my god, he actually caught it. How did you do it? As a teacher, I may not be able to handle it this way. Is this the Hyuga family's Byakugan? What is the Byakugan? The teachers and students were going crazy, the atmosphere was boiling, and the world was in turmoil. Uchiha Sasuke was also a little dazed. How amazing! Is this the genius of the Hyuga family that my father talked about? It's ridiculous that I thought I was the most talented. However, Sasuke quickly shook off this idea and became excited. His eyes looking at Hyuga Tenriki became fanatical. With such an opponent, my future school life will definitely not be boring. Ninkai, your young master is so powerful. Tenten said in amazement. Oh my god, that's awesome. It's decided. I'm going to duel with him. Xiao Li roared. Niji's mouth curled up. The young master is indeed a young master, awesome. Hyuga Tenli pulled Hinata. Let's go home. Hinata brother is awesome. Tenli touched Hinata's hair. Hinata will be so awesome in the future, come on. Hinata yet. The 2 siblings left the ninja school under the attention of everyone. Under the sunlight, the shadows of the 2 were very long, leaving a deep memory in the hearts of all the freshmen. Chapter 30. Uchiha Station. Sasuke returned home, thinking about the Hyuga Tenriki who had seriously stolen his limelight. Although he didn't like being watched by others, as a proud child, Sasuke still didn't like his limelight being stolen. Son, you're back. When Uchiha Mikoto saw Sasuke coming back, she immediately put down her work and came over to show concern. Uchiha. Fukiya glanced at Sasuke. What's wrong? You don't look happy. Sasuke, I want to change my clothes. Fukiya. Hey? What clothes? Sasuke, I don't want to wear this clothes, I want to change into a robe. He was very puzzled. What's going on? Why did Sasuke, who never paid attention to this, suddenly think of this? Sasuke, the robe I want is fiery red, with a little yellow, it must be cool, handsome, and eye-catching. Fukiya sweated. Why do you want to change clothes? Sasuke snorted and did not answer. He was too proud to say that he was jealous of others stealing his limelight. Fukiya, by the way, have you met the young master of the Hyuga family? Sasuke's face suddenly fell. Fukiu, it seems that you have seen him, and you should have competed with him, and lost. Suzuki said nothing, which confirmed Fukiu's guess. Not long after, Uchiha Itachi also came back. After dinner, Suzuki pestered Itachi. Brother, I want you to teach me ninjutsu. I lost to a classmate today. Oh? Who? Itachi asked curiously. Hyuga Tenriki. He. Itachi knew this person. The Enbu usually monitored various places in the village. Hyuga Tenriki was one of the observation points. Although he was not taken seriously, he paid more attention to him than ordinary people. He caught my shuriken with his fingers, and it was very easy. Suzuki now thinks back on it and feels super amazing. Catch shuriken with fingers, Itachi was surprised. He knew Sasuke's shuriken technique. Even a Chunin might not be able to catch it with his fingers, but that Hyuga Tenriki could actually do it to this extent. Can you teach me this technique? This is a bit difficult. I am not afraid of hardship, I don't want to lose to him. Suzuki said. Okay. So Suzuki started to ask Itachi to give him some special treatment. Itachi had not yet been formally turned against by Konoha's high-level officials, so he had not experienced the pain of choosing between a village and a family. On the second day of the ninja school, when Hyuga Tenriki and Hyuga Hinata appeared at the school gate, they immediately spotted a flamboyant figure. Uchiha Suzuki? What's with this fiery red robe? Tianli covered his face, he couldn't bear to look at it. This completely destroyed my worldview, okay? Sparta. Humph. When Uchiha Suzuki passed by Hyuga Tenriki, he snorted coldly and arrogantly, I will definitely defeat you. The vast horizon is my love. Hyuga Tianli was wooden, disheveled in the wind. Not to mention that Tianli was crushed by the grass mud horse. When Sasuke's new image appeared in the class, he was immediately greeted by the crazy screams of the female classmates. Humph, stupid woman. Sasuke's Sundara heart was well satisfied. Ah, Suzuki, why did your clothes change? They are so ugly. They. Rough-looking Naruto shouted directly. Then the girls around him immediately attacked Naruto with murderous intent, and Sakura's forehead exploded. Number stupid, what did you say? You are ugly. The other little boys, seeing Suzuki being so cool, were envious and jealous. They were thinking about how to trick their parents to make a similar robe for them so that they could look handsome. Only Koji was eating potato chips, Shikamaru was sleeping, and Shino was playing with insects. These were not normal children. Tianli covered his forehead. Oh my god, the world feels like it has changed. The teacher came soon and the class started. The ninja school lasts for a total of 6 years, from enrollment basics exercises applications, involving theory, training, experience, history, and practice. First, the basics of ninjas were taught, and then chakras were taught. Hearing that chakra refining was being taught, many civilian students who did not have ninjas, as well as Naruto, were like chicken blood, and they screamed. The gap between the rich and the civilians was opened at the starting line, except for geniuses. The refining method was taught in the morning, and the students began to learn formal refining in the afternoon. It was almost time to go home. Naruto looked at other classmates who had chakra sense one by one, but he had none at all, and he couldn't help but feel a little depressed. Tianli, do you think my qualifications are poor? No, I think you have good qualifications. Really? Real? Haha, I know I have good talent, I will definitely become Hokage. Naruto is always so AQ. There was a chorus of idiot around. Ugly bastard or something like that. The days at school always go by quickly, and a month has passed in the blink of an eye. Perhaps it was Suzuki who started it, and now every student in the school wears extremely flashy robes to school, and the cool robes are almost becoming school uniforms. Regarding this situation, Hyuga Tenriki is in a very bad mood. At this time, Naruto finally refined chakra, although it was very unstable, and the name of the last one appeared and spread because of this. Tenriki has been in class, but it is just a shadow clone. No one knows except Hinata, not even the teachers have discovered it. The main body is now at the Hyuga family residence, working hard to practice the ninjutsu that matches the Hyuga family bloodline, and is preparing to develop a ninjutsu chakra giant, definitely not for fun. Absolutely. In addition, there is another shadow clone who is refining chakra. After 3 years of accumulation, the current chakra amount has almost reached the bottleneck of the genin. As long as it reaches the bottleneck, Tenriki can use it. The functions of the system broke the boundaries, reducing the time to enter the Chunin level by a few years. Just like that, another month passed, and the peaceful days were broken again. Uchiha wore an exquisite fiery red robe and pointed at Hyuga Tenriki. At the end of school I want to challenge you. See you at the school gate. Hyuga Tenriki looked up at the sky speechlessly. This was absolutely full of the feeling of see you at the school gate, don't run away if you have the guts. Chapter 31. The young master of the Hyuga family and the young master of the Uchiha family are going to duel. It's time to duel. At the school gate. A group of students shouted excitedly. The news quickly spread throughout the school, and then students and teachers came over to watch. The last duel between the two opened the eyes of many students and teachers, especially the cool posture of catching shuriken with fingers, which still amazes many people. In the past 2 months, many little kids in the school wanted to learn this cool technique, but unfortunately they all hurt their hands. Poor guy. Now the two are going to duel again, I wonder what kind of amazing performance it will be? Every student was like a chicken blood. Tenriki and Suzuki hadn't arrived at the school gate yet, and the school gate was already blocked, which made many villagers confused, thinking that there was some discount promotion. Niji, Tenten, and Rock Lee came early and firmly occupied a good place. Here they come! They come! An excited shout. Where? Where? Get out of the way, get out of the way! The dense crowd quickly made way for a path and Tianli and Suzuki walked in. Beat! 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 Don't hit me in the face, he's so handsome. He really wants to watch the fun. Tianli and Suzuki ignored them, and the two sides stood opposite each other. The teacher of the ninja school quickly drove away the students who were watching and wanted to cause trouble, leaving a huge open space for Tianli and Suzuki to fight. Tenryu-san, Suzuki-san, you can't use shuriken this time, it can kill people. Irika warned. Unfortunately, Tenryu and Suzuki ignored him. Suzuki threw his robe and said coolly, this time, I must defeat you. Tenryu was even more concise, come on. What was even more showy than Suzuki was that he also wasted chakra, summoned a gust of wind to blow himself, making his robe rustle, which was quite unique. So handsome! The female classmates cheered loudly. Suzuki was immediately furious. You stole the limelight again. Be careful, I'm not as weak as last time. Suzuki shouted. He lowered his body, bent his legs, and kicked. Bang! The stone brick floor suddenly cracked into a spider web. Sasuke's speed instantly accelerated to the fastest, turning into a shadow and rushing in front of Tianli. Tianli was slightly surprised. This is definitely a symbol of the flexible use of chakra, which increases the speed, agility, and strength of the human body. It shows that Uchiha Sasuke's chakra application has reached a new stage. He is indeed a genius. Tianli showed no weakness and fought fiercely with fist to fist. Bang! 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 The sound was so loud that it seemed as if the air was shaking. The two men fought fiercely. The force was so great. Every punch hit the flesh. It was so fierce. Crack! Boom! The school gate was smashed into pieces by the aftermath of Sasuke's fist. Suzuki was hit to the ground by Tianli's punch, and a big hole was directly smashed into it, with cracks spreading all around. The stone lion at the school gate was directly punched away by Tianli and exploded in the air. Boom! Boom! Boom boom boom! Explosions continued, and trees and buildings around the school gate were directly damaged and smashed to pieces by the aftermath of the fierce battle. The students were dazzled by the mysterious scene, and said to themselves, how cool! How powerful! Suzuki panted, looking at Tianli who was still calm and composed, and felt unwilling. His eyes focused, and he put his hands in front of his chest. He quickly formed seals with both hands. Si, Wei, Shen, Hai, Wu, Yin. He shouted loudly. The great fireball technique. Not good. The ninja teacher's face changed drastically, and he wanted to stop it but it was too late. The students were stunned, and there was an uproar, horrified its ninjutsu. Just as the fireball flew in front of Tianli, Tianli shouted. Ninjutsu, air shield. He thrust out a single palm. A translucent light blue chakra semi-arc circle appeared in front of Tianli. Boom! The violent explosion shook the ground, and many students fell to the ground. The smoke cleared. The fireball disappeared, but the semicircular shield still stood firmly there. Tianli was unharmed, and the ground in front of his feet was directly blown into a pit. After seeing the result, Suzuki fell to the ground helplessly. But at this moment, Tianli's body made a bang and turned into a cloud of smoke and disappeared. Wow! The whole audience went wild instantly. How is this going? Gone. Do you died? No way. Only Irika's face changed drastically. Shadow clone. The third generation was peeping and was also shocked. It's actually a shadow clone. Suzuki also recognized it and was stunned. Because Itachi often used shadow clones, which were exactly the same as his body, with substance and thoughts, exactly the same as the real person. And the situation just now was clearly that the chakra was exhausted and the shadow clone could not be maintained and disappeared. However, Suzuki soon cheered up. You are worthy of being my opponent, I will challenge you again next time. In the backyard of the Hyga family's residence, the main body of Tianli, who was sitting cross-legged with his eyes closed to practice, opened his eyes. Hey, he actually fought with Suzuki and his chakra was exhausted. This is trouble, the shadow clone has been discovered. Tianli couldn't help but feel a little distressed. Chapter 32. When Tenryu, Suzuki, and the others left, the students in the school were in an uproar. Oh my god, these two are amazing. That fireball called Uchiha looks terrifying, look at that pit. The Hyga family was even more powerful. I saw him just stretch out his hand and block the fireball with a half-arc shield. These two people are perverts. Yes, it's too perverted. By the way, I don't know why the one from the Hyga family disappeared. What kind of ninjutsu is that? I didn't know it could actually disappear, so magical. But they soon learned from the teacher that the number of people who could disappear was called Shadow Clone. The teacher explained Shadow Clone is a ninjutsu created by the second Hokage, Senju Tobirama. It can create a body identical to that of the caster, and the chakra will be divided among each clone. Compared to the phantom clones created by ordinary clone techniques, the Shadow Clone technique can be said to be flawless. This is a ninjutsu that can create entities. Unlike ordinary clone techniques, this clone is physical and can attack, and can be applied to various ninjutsu. The students listened one by one, although they didn't quite understand, but they felt it was very powerful. Not long after, the term Shadow Clone quickly spread throughout the ninja school. Shadow Clone, that is a ninjutsu that is even more powerful than the clone jutsu. I didn't expect that the Hyga Tenriki who was learning from us was actually just a Shadow Clone. The young master of the Hyga family is so powerful. What a cool ninjutsu! Shadow clones became popular in the entire ninja school, and many students were determined to learn this cool ninjutsu in the future. After this battle, the names of Hyga Tenriki and Uchiha Suzuki as geniuses were completely known in the ninja school. The next day, when Hyga Tenriki returned to school, students immediately pointed fingers at him. What do you think, could it be a shadow clone? It's probably a shadow clone, right? A shadow clone followed us for 2 months and we didn't even notice it, so amazing. Naruto ran directly to Tianli's side, poking here and there. Are you real or fake? Snap. Tianli slapped the annoying Naruto against the wall and couldn't get him out. Hyga family. Hyga Tenriki was studying the profound book of seals and preparing to absorb experience from it and develop the chakra giant. At this time, Tenriki felt a spiritual connection. Do you have any new letters from Jiaodu? Tianli made a seal with familiarity and slapped the ground. Bang! There was a sound of smoke and a small lizard appeared. Master Tenri, this is Master Kakuzu's letter. The little lizard spit out a scroll from its mouth. This lizard was specially trained by Kakuzu last year to be suitable for delivering messages, so that the two can communicate directly. Ha ha ha, good news, good news. Hyga boy, after more than 2 years of research, the day before yesterday, we finally successfully developed the first mobile phone and phone card, and last night, it passed the test successfully. 300 kilometers, no problem with calls, clear signal. Ah, I'm so excited. I am now preparing to mass-produce the first generation of low-end machines according to the plan you gave me, and distribute them to major countries and ninja villages around the world. I can already imagine that in the days ahead, money will roll in. Ha 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 ha. However, I also follow your idea and look for some ninjas to train to protect the future communication empire. Currently, there are 30 genin, 10 chunin, and 1 jonin. The only thing that makes me sad is that I have spent 2/3 of my billions of dollars to do these things. For someone like me who loves money, this is simply hell, if hell doesn't charge money. I am considering whether to go out and kill people to earn some money. By the way, finally, I want to ask you, what is a good name for the company? I hate naming things. Finally, there is one more thing. Recently, the leader of Akatsuki, Zero, contacted me again, but I rejected him. I love the position of the overbearing CEO now. Fighting and killing are no longer suitable for me. I won't tell you that I really want to kill people and get the bounty. In the letter, Kakuzu had some complaints and nagging in his tone, but Tianli could easily see Kakuzu's surging enthusiasm and joy. It was obvious that Kakuzu had gone further and further down the road of domineering CEO. Tianli wrote a reply letter. As for the company name, let's call it Mobile Communications, abbreviated as Mobile. The word company is too lowbrow, so we just call it Group, so we call it Mobile Group. As for Akatsuki, this organization should be very powerful. We can keep in touch and perhaps have business dealings in the future. Oh, by the way, keep it a secret for me and don't let them know of my existence. I wrote a lot, installed it, and asked the little lizard to teleport it. Although it has been dormant for the past 2 years, Tianli's strength has increased a lot, especially the development of ninjutsu, and the amount of chakra is about to break through the Chunin. And under his guidance, Kakuzu developed mobile phones, and I believe that related technologies such as computers will also be developed one after another. Mobile phones, computers. Becoming the world's richest man, isn't it easy? 1 month later. As the system sounded, Tianli's strength broke through again. Ding, the chakra capacity has reached the bottleneck of Genin, the system starts to assist breakthrough. Ding, breakthrough successful, chakra qualitative change successful, congratulations on becoming a Chunin. Feeling the sudden surge of chakra, a feeling of being full of power, able to blow up the world with one punch, makes people want to let out a long roar. The power of the sky was quickly endured. This year, the end of 54. Age, 6 years old. Kakashi was rated as a Chunin at the age of 7, and his strength should be more than Chunin. Chapter 33. Time came to the 55th year of Konoha. As the new year, the village of Konoha was bustling. As time went by, Iruka began to get in touch with Naruto's heart, and then began to accept Naruto and teach him seriously. In February, the ninja school announced that it would give freshmen a full-level exam. This time, the freshmen were eager to show what they had learned in the past 6 months. After the competition started, it attracted many senior students to visit. And Tianli naturally crushed everyone in the competition with a domineering and tough attitude, and everyone lost to him. Sasuke won the 2nd place. After returning home, Sasuke looked for Itachi again to train himself. But at this time, Itachi was entangled in another matter and rarely stayed with Sasuke. Itachi's identity as a spy was discovered by Uchiha Shisui. After the two went on a mission, they found that they had something in common, that they loved peace, loved the village, and did not like the family's current rebellious sentiment. The two became close friends all of a sudden. At this time, because of the inequality of power and strength, the Uchiha family became more and more unwilling, and the conflict with Konoha became more and more intense. Faced with this situation, Uchiha Shisui submitted a plan to the 3rd generation and Danzo, to use Uchiha Shisui's Kota Amatsukami to control Uchiha Fukiyu, and then control the Uchiha clan. Unfortunately, Uchiha Shisui was too naive. He didn't understand one thing. Even if he successfully controlled Uchiha Fukiyu, the Uchiha clan was still under the control of the Uchiha, not under the control of the 3rd generation and Danzo. How could this be tolerated for the 3rd generation and Danzo? Moreover, Danzo has coveted the Sharingan for a long time. Such a good opportunity, such a simple little white rabbit, who else can he cheat if not you? So, one night, the naive Uchiha Shisui was attacked by Danzo and his right eye was dug out. If it weren't for Shisui's strong strength, killing the root members who were chasing him and escaping, it is estimated that his other eye would also become Danzo's collection. In order to avoid a fight over his eyes, Shisui entrusted his left eye and the most powerful illusion Kota Amatsukami to Itachi on a cliff beside the Nanga River, pretended to destroy his eyes, and then jumped into the Nanga River to commit suicide. Itachi witnessed this tragedy with his own eyes, and in pain he directly activated his Mangeki Sharingan. From that day on, the conflict between Itachi and the Uchiha clan became more and more intense. April. Hyga Tenriki has slowly sensed the tense atmosphere of the Uchiha clan. The police force has become more strict in enforcing the law, causing countless Konoha villagers to complain about the Uchiha clan. However, these have nothing to do with Hyga Tenriki. At this time, he is preparing for something. I feel that the accumulation of these years is almost enough, it's time to start the graduation exam. After the graduation exam, I asked the family to arrange a senior ninja to take me on missions for practical training. Half a year later, I left Konoha and looked for new opportunities in the vast ninja world to pave the way for the Rinnegan. Hyga Tenryu has watched Naruto from beginning to end. The Byakugan is powerful because it can see through everything and has no blind spots at 360 degrees. However, the Byakugan also has a great flaw. It is powerless against illusions. If he encounters someone like Itachi who is proficient in illusions in the future, he will probably be defeated by just one illusion. Therefore, Tenryu needs to improve the power of the Byakugan and prepare for the evolution of the Samsara Eye. The Hyga family is the descendant of Otoki Hamura, and the Otoki clan on the moon is also the descendant of Otoki Hamura. The two clans are almost similar in blood, but the blood of the Otoki clan on the moon is estimated to be a little stronger, close to the ancestors, atavism. Moreover, the Samsara Eye is the evolution direction of the Byakugan developed by the Otoki clan, similar to the evolution of the Sharingan the Samsara Eye the Samsara Sharingan. Therefore, if Hyga Tenryu wants to evolve into the Samsara Eye, he must go to the moon. Let's not think about so much for now, let's consider the current problem first. If you want to apply for graduation, you must lay a good foundation, so Tianli made a decision to challenge the senior students. What? You want to challenge a senior student? Hinata said in surprise. Well, you have adapted to this place during this time, and you have your own friends, so I can graduate early and leave here. It feels boring here. Hyga Tenriki said boredly. What? You said you wanted to graduate early. Naruto, who was just dozing off next to him, was awakened by the news and started shouting, and then the whole class knew the news. All the students looked at Tenli. The teacher who was giving a lecture forgot to scold Naruto, and instead focused his attention on Tenli. Teacher Tianli, you said you wanted to graduate, that won't do. Tenli, why not? I heard that senior ninja Kakashi entered school at the age of 4 and graduated at the age of 5, and the Uchiha family genius Uchiha Itachi entered school at the age of 6 and graduated at the age of 7. They all graduated early after only 1 year of study, so why can't I? The teacher's head was sweating this. They are all geniuses. Tenli puffed out his chest. I am even more of a genius. The teacher retreated and hurried to discuss with Irika. As soon as the teacher left, the classroom exploded. No way, is there really a child who started school at the age of 4 and graduated at the age of 5? Isn't that too abnormal? Did you just hear that there is a Uchiha family member who started school at the age of 6 and graduated at the age of 7? Oh my god, is there such a pervert in our Konoha? Every student was stunned by the brilliant achievements of Kakashi and Itachi. Harano Sakura, Nara Shikamaru, Akimichi Koji, Yamanaka Ino, Abarame Shino, Inyazuka Kaiba, and others were also stunned. They had heard of geniuses from their parents, but they had never heard of Kakashi. He entered school at the age of 4 and graduated at the age of 5? Is he still a human being? It's simply abnormal. Chapter 34. Breaking news, the first-year student of the ninja school, Tenryu Hirata, defeated the strongest fourth-year student, Saki, with one move, and is preparing to challenge the strongest fifth-year student, Murakuro, tomorrow. A piece of news quickly spread throughout Konoha. Wow, we won again. He actually defeated the strongest student in the 4th grade. Which one is this? Another one-shot defeat. Isn't this too strong? The young master of the Hyga family is indeed a genius. Amazing. Looking forward to tomorrow's challenge results. I heard that the young master of the Hyga family wants to graduate early. Graduated? Less than a year since you started school. If only my son was that good. In the past half-month, Hyga Tenriki challenged a senior genius every day, and then easily defeated him with one move. Every day, the result of each battle would become a hot topic of discussion among most villagers. Hyga Tenriki's name as a genius has spread throughout the village. Many villagers educated their children like this. Look at the young master of the Hyga family, he is so good, what about you? Under such circumstances, Hyuga Tenriki became the child of other people's families and was envied and hated by a group of little brats. The next day, the bell rang for the end of class. All the students looked at Hyuga Tenriki. Hyuga Tenriki stood up, straightened his clothes, looked extremely cool, and waved his hand. Let's go. Let's challenge. The whole class was excited. Let's go. A group of people followed Hyuga Tenri out of the classroom and headed for the senior classroom. The leader was naturally Naruto, who never cared about trouble, and was almost a lackey. Sasuke also followed behind Tenri. He regretted being lazy and not practicing in the past for Hyuga Tenri's abnormality. As for the other students behind, some of them had already started holding banners with arrogant slogans such as "Fight to the senior class and dominate the ninja school." The group of people was so powerful and imposing. What about the senior students? After seeing Hyuga Tenri, they were afraid of him and gave way. Soon, Hyuga Tenri arrived at the 5th grade class, which was the class that would graduate and become genin this year. Murazo, come out. Before Hyuga Tenriki could say anything, Naruto had already shouted. Murazo was a burly student, with broad shoulders and a thick waist, honest and simple. When he saw Hyuga Tenriki, his face suddenly turned sad. Master Hyuga, can I surrender? Murakami said in distress. No way. Hyuga Tianli directly refused. But I can't beat you. He was very familiar with the strongest student in the 4th grade, whose strength was only half as strong as his, but he was defeated by Tianli in one move. What's the point of fighting? He should just admit defeat. I have no choice but to pick on you since the teacher won't let me graduate. Hyuga Tenriki shrugged. Murakami and other senior students all cried. How can this be? This is too much of a bully. They all cast resentful eyes at the teachers around them, asking why they didn't send this evildoer out of the school quickly. They shouldn't let him stay in the school and harm us weak little lambs. Irika and the other teachers wiped their sweat. I give up. Finally, Murakami simply gave up. He didn't want to be beaten. Village. Breaking news. Breaking news. The 5th grade's strongest student, Muraku, admitted defeat without a fight and claimed that Hyuga Tenriki should bully ninjas instead of kids like them. The news quickly spread throughout Konoha. Sure enough, we won again. The strongest student who is about to graduate has admitted defeat. It seems that the young master of the Hyuga family is really powerful. Such a person should graduate early and not waste his talent. Yes, he should graduate earlier. The reputation of the Hyuga family has been improved unconsciously. The 3rd generation, on the other hand, has been under pressure from the fishing reel. The 3rd generation snorted coldly. What a troublemaker. He originally wanted to delay it, at least to extend the graduation time of Hyuga Tenriki to 2 years, which would be longer than the 1 year of Kakashi and Itachi. In this way, the title of genius would definitely be weakened. But in the current situation, it should be impossible. Forget it, let him graduate. If he keeps doing this, he will probably be known as a genius and the Hyuga family will have a higher reputation. The 3rd generation reluctantly signed the document agreeing to the graduation application. Oh, that's not right. 3 generations came up with a solution. I can definitely find a strong ninja to be his test subject. If he loses, how can he still talk about graduation? Thinking of this, the 3rd generation sneered. 3 days later, at the ninja school training ground, all the students in the school stopped classes and came to watch Hyuga Tenriki's graduation exam. The Sandaime wanted to come at first, but when he thought that his presence would increase Hyuga Tenriki's reputation in disguise, he simply didn't come and watched directly in the office with a crystal ball. As the young master of the Hyuga family, Hyuga Tenriki, Hyuga Hayashi, Hyuga Hisashi and a group of elders also came and sat aside to watch the graduation exam. In a noisy atmosphere, the graduation exam began. The ninja in charge of the graduation exam stood up. My name is Ebisu, a chunin from Konoha. According to the order of the 3rd Hokage, your graduation exam this time will be a competition with me. As long as you can last 1 minute under my control, you will pass the graduation exam. Hey? Ebisu. Hyuga. Tenriki felt that it sounded familiar, and then he suddenly realized that this Ebisu was the smoldering pervert tutor who appeared in the 2nd episode of Naruto. However, this Ebisu guy is not a chunin. Whether it is the shadow clone, close physical skills or kunao throwing level, it is far beyond the chunin level and is very close to the jonin level. He is a special jonin. Damn, the third generation is really insidious. Tian Li cursed, but he quickly laughed. No matter how insidious you are, you still have to drink my foot washing water? Humph. Ebisu advised kindly. I think your ability is still not enough, you can consider continuing to study for a year and then take the exam. Haiga Tenriki chuckled. No need. Ebisu's face suddenly turned cold. In this case, let's get started. Chapter 35. Ebisu obeyed the orders of the third generation, so he naturally did not hold back. He directly took out a few shurikens and threw them at Tenriki. There was a gasp of shock all around. So fast. It was the first time for the students to see a senior ninja throwing shuriken. The speed was so fast that they couldn't see clearly, not even the afterimage. The senior students had a deeper experience. Although they were about to graduate, the speed of their shuriken was more than 10 times lower than that of Mr. Ebisu. Moreover, the turning arc of this shuriken was so insidious. Murakami stared at the shuriken flying in the air and broke out in a cold sweat. He will definitely die, the angle is too tricky. Mr. Ebisu is too cruel, he is going to kill Haiga Tenriki. But soon Murakami was stunned. Ding ding ding. Haiga Tenriki swung the kunao easily, knocking the shuriken away. Easy as pie. No pressure. Ebisu was shocked and thought to himself, you actually caught my shuriken. It seems that you are really strong. Let's try a different taijutsu. Amidst the exclamations, Ebisu flashed in front of Tianli in an instant. With one punch. With a strong wind, he hit Tianli's face fiercely. Ninja body empty shield. With two shouts from Tianli, without even making a seal, a translucent chakra shield appeared out of thin air in front of Tianli. Bang! The powerful and fierce punch hit the protective shield, causing it to slip and deviate to the side. Ebisu was caught off guard and lost his balance, leaving a moment of gap. Tianli narrowed his eyes. Opportunity. Ninja body activation. Ninja body star breaking. Zzz. Because of the imbalance of his body, Ebisu felt a chakra comparable to that of a chunin appear below him, and then in a flash, Ebisu felt a huge force coming from his abdomen. Boom! A dull roar sounded in the square, shaking everyone's chest. Then, in front of everyone's wide-eyed gaze, the chunin Ebisu was spun out like a cannonball and hit the wall 10 meters away. The thick wall was knocked into a huge pit, and cracks appeared all around. Silence! You could hear a pin drop. Everyone looked at Haiga Tenriki as if he were a monster. In their hearts, they were completely Spartan. This is a chunin. How could he be killed so easily? Damn, is he still human? What a pervert! Haiga Hayashi, and others smiled brightly. Haha, I was careless just now. At this time, Ebisu raised his head, blood was dripping from the corner of his mouth, but his eyes became sharp and cold. Killing aura. Haiga Tenriki felt it. Haiga Hayashi and others, as well as the teachers, also felt it. Many students had never seen killing aura before, and they felt that their bodies were completely unable to move, as if they were frozen by the killing aura, and they couldn't even move their fingers. So scary. Is this the power of a ninja? Damn it, I can't move at all. Suzuki gritted his teeth and resisted the murderous aura, but found it was useless. Ebisu walked over slowly, his face as gloomy as the underworld this time. I will definitely not be careless, I will let you know that chunin is not what you imagine. Hehe, Haiga. Tenriki smiled and said, stop talking nonsense. There are still 40 seconds left. You spent 20 seconds pretending to be cool. Don't pretend to be cool and end up being an idiot. The students around him were going crazy after hearing this. Oh my god, you actually reminded him and even provoked him. Ebisu raised a finger and said disdainfully, I don't need 40 seconds, I only need 10 seconds, it's enough to knock you down. In these extra 30 seconds, I will analyze the ninjutsu you just used. One for defense, one for attack, one for body activation. Combined with your Haiga family's Byakugan and bloodline characteristics, this is indeed a very suitable ninjutsu. Ebisu looked proud, as if he knew everything about it. The students below exclaimed in a very respectful way, you are so powerful. You are worthy of being a chunin. He was seen through so quickly. Ebisu walked over with confidence and a masterly demeanor. His demeanor was admired by many students, and even many girls were obsessed with him, saying, how handsome. Look at your outfit, the golden patterned robe is dazzling and eye-catching, but in my opinion this is very stupid, because on the battlefield, you have to hide yourself, and dressing like you will only make you die faster. Ebisu's words were like a knife, and every stroke of the knife drew blood. The students around him suddenly realized and began to despise Hyuga Tenriki. They turned to look at Ebisu with admiration and shouted in their hearts, "This is an excellent ninja. I want to be like him in the future." Ebisu saw that he had accumulated his momentum to the peak with his attack step by step, and the opponent's confidence had probably collapsed. Ebisu showed a proud look and stretched out a finger. "Now, there are 10 seconds left." Before he could finish his words, Hyuga Tenriki moved. He rushed like a wolf and a pig. He ran like a star and it was as powerful as thunder. Before Ebisu could react, he felt his abdomen being hit again. "Soft boxing Bagua." The loud voice echoed in the square. 2 palms. Puff. Puff. 4 palms. Puff. 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 8 palms. 16 palms. 32 palms. 64 palms. 128 palms. Puff puff. Like a strong wind, like a heavy rain. His fingers were as fast as the wind, chasing the wind and lightning. Ebisu had no ability to resist at all. Tianli shouted loudly. "Ninja body breaking stars!" Boom! The air vibrated and exploded. Then, in front of everyone's stunned gaze, Ebisu flew backwards at a rapid speed. Boom! The thick wall that was still there just now was directly blasted apart. "Strong people don't talk nonsense." Hyuga Tianli left a word, waved his sleeves, and left. He left a cool back view to all the stunned people. Chapter 36. Hyuga Tenriki became famous in one battle. The whole Konoha village knew that the young master of the Hyuga clan defeated a Chunin cleanly and neatly during the graduation exam. What's even funnier is that the Chunin named Ebisu was still showing off and pretending to be cool during the exam, saying that he could finish it in 10 seconds, but he was beaten down by Hyuga Tenriki in just 1 second. This is simply a living example of trying to be cool but getting beaten. This joke can make people laugh for a whole year. It is also for this reason that the topic of Hyuga Tenriki is on the villagers' lips all day long. They talk about it while eating, drinking, taking a bath, shopping. His fame is rising rapidly, and the reputation of the Hyuga clan has also increased a lot. In the classroom of the ninja school, Hyuga Tenriki came to attend his last class. Today, he can receive Konoha's ninja forehead protector and become a real independent ninja. Irika looked at Hyuga Tenriki, who was still very serious, and nodded with satisfaction. "Irika, today, we will not have a regular class, but play a little game." The whole class of little kids became excited at once. Irika handed a blank paper to each student. "If tomorrow is the last day on Earth, who would you want to be with?" Naruto shouted, "The last day on Earth, it won't come." Irika, for example, "The moon fell down." Akimichi Chuji, "If it's the last day on Earth, it would be better if it wasn't the moon but a piece of meat that fell down." Ha ha ha. There was a burst of laughter all around. Naruto shouted to Harano Sakura, "If the moon falls, I will definitely protect you." Unfortunately, Harano Sakura was not moved at all. "Irika, now let everyone write a name. Who do you want to be with?" What a familiar scene. Hyuga Tenriki thought that this was exactly the plot of the 10th movie, the one where Tonari Otoji and the Samsara Eye appeared. Hyuga Tenriki looked at Hinata and saw her writing Hyuga Tenriki on a piece of paper. Tenriki smiled and also wrote Hyuga Hinata, Hanabi Hyuga on the paper. As the school bell rang, all the students and teachers looked at Hyuga Tenriki. Hyuga Tenriki took the Konoha forehead protector, put it on his head, and showed a sunny smile. "Dear students, I will go ahead and wait for you in front. I hope you will work hard." Suzuki looked at the back of Hyuga Tenriki leaving, and his proud heart couldn't stand it. Tisk, he stole the limelight again. This time, his desire to work hard to become stronger was even stronger. At this time, Naruto stopped making trouble and started to get serious. Hyuga family. A strong and upright ninja half knelt in front of Hyuga Hayashi and Hyuga Tenriki, with a scar on his face that slanted to the right, adding to his murderous aura. "Young Master Tenryu, I am the senior ninja Hyuga Domaru. In the next 3 months, I will follow you all the way and teach you more practical experience." Hyuga Hayashi said Domaru is the ninja with the most practical experience in our Hyuga clan. He has experienced more than 10 tragic battles of all sizes in the 3 wars. This is your first time going out. I feel more at ease with him teaching you. Hyuga Tenryu. Yes, father, I will trouble Uncle Domaru for the next 3 months. Hyuga Domaru said respectfully. It is my honor to serve young Master Tenryu. As the future patriarch of the Hyuga family, Hyuga Tenryu naturally has corresponding privileges. He does not have to do village tasks like catching cats, dogs, finding children, etc. like ordinary ninjas, but can make free decisions without reporting to the village. Hyuga Hayashi and Uchiha Fukiya do not wear ninja forehead protectors. At this time, Hyuga Hanabi, who is nearly 2 years old, ran in and hugged Hyuga Tenryu's arm. Brother, play with me, play with me. Hyuga Hanabi has a more lively personality, which is completely opposite to Hinata's shy personality. Tianli smiled and said, okay, brother will play with you. During these 2 days, Tenriki was with his family and did not practice. Hyuga Nami cried bitterly, fearing that Tenriki would suffer outside. On the 3rd day, Tenriki said goodbye to his parents and left Konoha with Hyuga Domaru. At the same time, several more ninjas from the Hyuga family followed the 2 of them and secretly protected them. The Sandame looked through the crystal ball. Are they finally gone? What a big trouble! Should we tell the Cloud Ninja the news? Forget it. Danzo was at the root base. After receiving the news, he turned his mind another genius. Fortunately, Sarutobi Hiru has foolishly pushed the Hyuga family to my side. Should we send someone to protect them? Forget it, don't worry about it. Cloud Village. Crackling. Lightning flashed and thunder roared. The towering mountains echoed with deafening thunder. In the Raikage's office, the tall and burly 4th Raikage laughed while holding a piece of paper. I didn't expect that they would take the initiative to leave Konoha. This is a godsend opportunity. The last time the Cloud Ninja left Konoha in disgrace, the 4th Raikage was very upset. How could the 4th Raikage miss such a great opportunity this time? Soon the 4th Raikage issued a secret order. Not long after, 2 elite jonin gathered into a team, left the Cloud Ninja village, and headed towards Konoha. The Raikage's secret order must get the Byakugan. Hyuga Tenriki will face his first life and death challenge after leaving Konoha village. Chapter 37. In the Forest. Spiritualism. Bang! A burst of white smoke came out of the ground. A small lizard appeared in front of Hyuga Tenriki. Hyuga Domaru looked at this scene, a little surprised, but consciously said nothing and asked nothing, just quietly grilled a fish on the side. It has been 4 days now. In the first 2 days, Hyuga Domaru carefully taught Hyuga Tenriki how to track the target through various traces, as well as many personal experiences. Hyuga Tenriki's talent also made him very happy. He learned quickly and often applied what he had learned to other situations. On the 3rd day, Hyuga Domaru had to start teaching Tenriki how to deal with his own traces and prevent or mislead the enemy's tracking. Because of the tracking skills, he learned stealth faster and finished it in 1 day. Then there was survival in the wild, eating, drinking, poison defense. All kinds of knowledge. Tianli felt that he learned a lot of new knowledge every day and increased his strength. And on the 4th day, Hyuga Tenriki sensed that there were new things in the corner of the domineering president. After summoning the little lizard spewed out a small scroll from its mouth. I was surprised to hear that you left Konoha. You graduated after only 1 year of enrollment. Are you a genius? By the way, the intelligence team has been established. I just received news from the intelligence team that the Cloud Village has sent 2 elite jonin to capture you 3 days ago. The jonin around you probably can't stop them. Do you want help? Or come to me? Or I can send someone or hire a ninja to protect you. The factory has been fully operational half a month ago. According to the assembly line workshop solution you provided, the work efficiency has increased by 5 times. I admire your wisdom more and more. It's a pity that you are the young master of the Hyuga family. If not, maybe the 2 of us can work together and become the richest man in the ninja world. Let me talk about a few important R&D projects. We are already preparing to develop high-definition televisions, but the satellite project is more difficult, and I don't understand it very well, so I'm still recruiting people. Finally, let me talk about the company's development plan for the past year. It is expected that the company will start promoting the product next month, June, and then promote the phone to some small villages and countries such as Yunnan Village and Suokian Village in July. After the reputation is increased, it will be promoted to large countries such as the Kingdom of Lightning and the Kingdom of Water. Well, I feel like being a CEO more and more, managing a large group of people, and earning money in the future. Looking at the letter, it was obvious that Kakuzu was in a good mood. After reading it, Tianli quickly wrote back a letter. Thank you for the information from Kumo Ninja, but don't worry, I can handle it. As for the company's affairs, I feel that you are very suitable to be a domineering president. I will leave it to you. I am relieved. He gave the letter to the little lizard, and with a bang, the little lizard turned into smoke and disappeared. Master, the fish is ready. Haiga Domaru handed over a roasted fish, which smelled delicious. Uncle Domaru, has there been no intelligence from the family yet? I just received intelligence from my friend that the Cloud Ninja sent 2 elite Jonin to hunt me down. What? 2 elite Jonin? Haiga Domaru was shocked. Although the Haiga clan has the Byakugan and is more powerful than ordinary ninjas, the Cloud Ninjas have mastered the ninjutsu of body activation, which increases their speed, agility, and strength, especially the elite Jonins. If it was just 1 elite Jonin, he might be able to hold it off, but 2 of them came at once. Haiga Domaru cursed angrily, the Cloud Ninjas are trying to kill you, young master. Aren't they afraid of triggering a war between the 2 countries? They're crazy. Haiga Tenriki snorted, if they were afraid, they wouldn't have wanted to kidnap me back then. Haiga Domaru sensed the crisis, so he quickly used ninjutsu to pass the news back to the Haiga family and look for support as soon as possible. He knew that there were Chunin and Genin of the Haiga family protecting him in secret, but the strength of Chunin and Genin was no match for the elite Jonin. The young master must not be allowed to get into trouble. Not even if I die. Haiga Domaru made up his mind secretly. He saw the talent of Haiga Tenriki and believed that he could definitely become a better clan leader than Haiga Hayashi and lead the Haiga family to a more glorious future. Not long after, the ninjas who were protecting in secret received the news and kept the highest alert, using the Byakugan to monitor all directions 24 hours a day to detect the enemy in advance. The ability of the Byakugan is very advantageous in such a situation. After 1 day of alert, on the morning of the 3rd day, one of the Chunin finally spotted the other side. Master, the enemy is 1,800 meters to the west. According to the enemy's chakra, it should be an elite Jonin of the Kumo Ninja, but only 1 person has been found so far. 1 person? Haiga Domaru said seriously, continue monitoring and make sure to find the other person. Yes. The tribesman took the order and left. White eyes, open. Haiga Domaru's white eyes suddenly opened, and everything in front of him suddenly became translucent. The visual distance in front of him suddenly exceeded 2 kilometers. Soon, he caught sight of 2 people. The huge chakra was particularly eye-catching in the transparent area. One is 1,800 meters away, and the other is 2,400 meters away. They are probably conducting reconnaissance. Master, they haven't discovered us yet. We can set up some traps in advance. This is the advantage of the Byakugan, it can detect the enemy earlier and prepare for battle in advance. Trap. Haiga Tenriki felt that the effect of the trap on elite Jonin, especially the fast Cloud Ninja, would not be very good. Or maybe I'm not strong enough. If I were strong enough, I wouldn't have to think about anything and would just go up and punch him. Thinking of this, Haiga Tenri's desire for strength became more urgent. It seems that the trip to the Star Ninja village has to be advanced. This is the aggregate of the 10 Tails chakra, it will surely be useful to me. Chapter 38. On the other side of the forest, 2 Cloud Ninjas are searching. Among them, Cloud Ninja B is a perception type. Cloud Ninja A, according to intelligence, the little brat of the Haiga family, is in this area. Cloud Ninja B, it's the 6th day now. I hope it's not another wasted trip. Cloud Ninja A, I heard that the other side has a Haiga family Jonin who has released the bird from the cage. It seems that we can harvest 4 Byakugan this time. Cloud Ninja B, we can't be careless. According to the information, the Byakugan of the Haiga family Jonin can observe at a distance of several thousand meters. Maybe before we find them, they have found us and set traps for us to pass by. Cloud Ninja A, hehe, what are you afraid of? We are far superior to them in strength. There will definitely be no problem. Besides, your perception is also very strong. You should be able to discover it in advance. Cloud Ninja B, be more careful. I feel it. This Cloud Ninja twitched his nose, it smells like ninjas. 2. 3. A little blurry. To the east. Cloud Ninja A, it should be them. Cloud Ninja B, let's go. With their enthusiasm for the mission, they instantly ignited. White eyes, here we come. On the side of Hyuga Tenriki. Hyuga Tenriki took out a sword from his bag. This sword is called Kusanagi sword, yes, it has the same name as the one behind Uchiha Sasuke. Each Kusanagi sword is a snake, and every snake Orochimaru spits out has a Kusanagi sword in its mouth. Are both the sword and the knife of the Hokage called swords? This sword of Hyuga Tenryu was found by Hyuga Hayashi from somewhere. After using it, Tenryu felt that it fit his hand very well and was very satisfied. The chakra conduction was even better, so he decided to use it in the future. Oh no, master, the other side has perception system, they have discovered us. Hyuga Domaru said. Hyuga Tenriki tied the knife to his waist and said calmly, I guess the other side will also have perception system. Since the trap is useless, let's fight head on. But there is nothing to worry about. I am very strong. You hold me back while I kill people. As soon as Tian Li's voice fell, the knife in his hand suddenly lit up. Zzz. A stream of chakra wrapped around the Kusanagi sword. Blade energy. Swing forward. A 7 or 8 meter long chakra sword suddenly appeared in the air and flew forward at lightning speed. A huge rock was cut in half cleanly, and the chakra blade's momentum was unabated, disappearing deep into the forest. 1 second later. Boom boom. A large number of huge trees in the forest fell down. Oh! Hyuga Domaru and other tribesmen opened their mouths so wide that they could almost fit a big apple in them. Let's go. You are responsible for blocking his movements with acupuncture points, and I will be responsible for killing him. Hyuga Tenriki laughed loudly. Good. Hyuga Domaru was like a chicken with blood injected, and he suddenly felt heroic. He let out a long roar, you bastards of Cloud Ninja, Grandpa is coming. The two of them rushed over quickly. The two Cloud Ninjas heard the long roar and were confused, but soon turned it into a cruel sneer. You actually came to my door on your own initiative, so I will take your lives. The two sides soon met. The two Kumo ninjas immediately set their sights on Hyuga Tenriki. With that extraordinary demeanor, how could it be possible for him to be cultivated by a big family? Moreover, that handsome and sunny face was exactly the same as the intelligence photo. The two Kumo ninjas were so excited that they almost screamed. Haha, little brat from the Hyuga family, I finally meet you this time, just hand over your eyes obediently. Yoon. Ninja B laughed happily. Hyuga Tenriki grinned, villains are really talkative. Ninja body activation. Instantly, waves of chakra began to emerge from the surface of Hyuga Tenriki's body, flashing with soft light, faintly covering the coat, making it look like a chakra garment. Hey, how come this is so similar to our lightning release armor? The two Cloud Ninjas were a little surprised and said, there's no such information in the intelligence. However, the daily line Tian Li will not talk to them. Roll your eyes, open. Roll your eyes, open. Go. Tang Wan and Tian Li shouted at the same time, and they rushed forward with big strides and swift movements, each finding a Cloud Ninja. The Cloud Ninja armor who was chosen by Hyuga Tenriki was a little angry and said, how arrogant. A genin dares to face an elite jonin alone. I really admire your courage. However, I will not be arrogant with you. Lightning release, armor, fire. Hyuga Tenriki's heart sank, thinking that this Cloud Ninja is really powerful. He even used all his strength to deal with me. The first plan failed. Cloud Ninja armor did not hold back at all, and directly attacked Hyuga Tenriki with the strongest speed and strength. Each punch was as fast as a spark, with great force and heavy power. The most violent. The most direct. Hyuga Tenriki gritted his teeth and swung his sword desperately to block the opponent's fists and arms. Ding! Ding ding! Ding ding ding! In less than 10 seconds, the two sides exchanged blows dozens of times, like a storm hitting glass. However, Hyuga Tenriki was inconsolable. Although he tried to relieve the force in many ways and used the power of his Byakugan, the opponent's strength and speed completely overwhelmed him, causing his hands to gradually become numb and painful, and he even felt as if his bones were about to break. He is much stronger than the last Cloud Ninja Chunin, at least 20 times more powerful. Hyuga Tenri's gums were almost bleeding from biting. You must hold on Kumo Ninja A was surprised to see that Hyuga Tenriki could completely withstand his attack, but he soon sneered. Genius? Haha, killing a genius is the best feeling. He laughed wildly. Chapter 39. At this time, 10 meters away, Hyagadomura was fighting with Cloud Ninja B. As Hyagadomura fought, his mind flashed, he has a lightning armor, we must break it before we can use acupuncture, but he is too fast. Hyagadomura finally thought of a tragic way. With his peripheral vision, he watched Master Tianli retreat step by step under the attack of the Cloud Ninja, and his life was in danger at any time. Haha, are you worried about that little devil? Don't worry, you will all go to hell together. Ha ha ha. Cloud Ninja B laughs wildly. We must protect the young master. Hyagadomura was aroused to fight fiercely, with the crazy bloodshot in his eyes. Let's fight. He directly took a fierce attack from Kumo Ninja B with his chest, ignoring his internal organs that were about to burst, and shouted 8 trigrams breaking mountain strike. Boom! The lightning armor of Kumo Ninja Otoko shattered directly, but did not hurt Kumo Ninja Otoko's body. Kumo Ninja Otoko laughed triumphantly, his hair flying wildly. Ha ha ha! Your Hyga family's attack is too rubbish, you can't hurt me at all. 8 diagrams, empty wall palm. Without any nonsense, Hyagadomura held back the blood in his mouth and quickly used the chakra in his hand to attack the acupuncture points of Cloud Ninja. Oh! Cloud Ninja B suddenly stopped. 8 diagrams, 64 palms. Hyagadomura spat out a mouthful of blood and quickly used 64 punches, injecting chakra into the 64 acupuncture points in the body of Cloud Ninja B. The flow of chakra suddenly became chaotic. Haha, 64 palms. What a joke. Your Hyga family's attack is still too weak. Yoon. Ninja B laughed wildly. However, he did not see the smile in Hyagadomura's eyes. The opportunity has come. Hyga Tianli's eyes lit up. Ninja body empty shield. Tianli shouted, and a dark glass cover appeared in front of him. The violent fist force of Yun Renjia hit the sudden chakra shield at once. The chakra shield made a rough sound, as if it would break at any time, but fortunately it was barely blocked. Yun Renjia was surprised. Is this what the intelligence said? Suddenly, he saw that the way Hyga Tenriki held the knife was a little different, and there was chakra spreading on the knife. At the same time, he also saw a smile on Hyga Tenriki's mouth. His hair was flying, and his momentum was rising. Zzz. The knife swung. A chakra blade suddenly appeared. Danger! Yun! Renai's heart was pounding, and he jumped away quickly. However, one of the arms was unable to dodge and was cut off cleanly by the chakra blade. No! Cloud! Ninja A screamed in fear. Cloud Ninja A looked back and saw Cloud Ninja B being shattered by the chakra blade. The sword pierced through his body easily. The whole person was cut in half. Dead? Dead. Cloud Ninja Armor looked at his companion's body in disbelief, and then looked at the chopped-off tree behind him. What kind of ninjutsu is this? Yun Renjia's heart was trembling wildly. Ha ha ha. It's done. Hyga. Domura coughed up blood and laughed, and the Hyga clan members who had just arrived began to treat his injuries, just in time to save him. The rest of the Hyga clan members came to Tianli and protected him. I swear to protect the young master until my death. We swear to protect the young master till death. The Hyga clan members shouted one by one. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Cloud Ninja Armor raised his head to the sky and laughed wildly, with a hysterical madness in his laughter. How dare you kill him? How dare you kill him? Good. Very good. The Cloud Ninja Armor had disheveled hair, and an extremely large amount of chakra emanated from his body, forming broken lightning in the air. The sky seemed to have darkened a little, and his crazy voice was screaming, making people's scalps numb. Hyga Tenriki's face changed, he was not expecting it. Not only was the chakra in his body not enough, but he didn't expect the other party to be so perverted. The Cloud Ninja Armor stared at Hyga Tenriki with a pair of vicious eyes, and his mouth burst out coldly. You, go to hell. Heavy. Flow. Burst. A violent burst of lightning chakra concentrated on his elbow. Hey! The sound was so powerful that it could split gold and stone, and it hurt his ears. Then Hyga Tianli saw his figure turned into a flash of lightning and rushed towards him. Before he arrived, a gust of wind pressure blew Tianli's face a little deformed. Horrible. Too fast. Can't escape. The sword energy will probably be dodged by the opponent, no way. There is only one way left. Hyga Tianli struggled to muster all the chakra in his body, Ninja body air shield. A deep blue chakra shield appeared in front of him. Not enough, or I still feel it is not enough. Haiga. Tenriki felt a sense of alarm in his heart. Several Haiga clan members showed a determined look and went straight to the front. Soft fist. Soft fist. Soft fist. Haha, your attack of the Haiga family is too weak, it's useless, despair. Fear. Scream. Cloud Ninja Wang Yang laughed wildly. The soft fists of the few clansmen who were guarding Tian Li were completely useless and were easily beaten into countless pieces of flesh and blood by the heavy violent flow. Haiga Tian Li's eyes were wide open, and hatred soared. Covered in blood, the Cloud Ninja was like a devil from hell, and the heavy violent flow rushed straight at him with terrifying wind pressure. Not enough. Not enough chakra. Haiga. Tenriki gritted his teeth. However, at this critical moment, Haiga Tenriki felt that a 5-meter-tall blue skeleton giant suddenly appeared in front of him. Boom! The Cloud Ninja and the skeleton giant collided. The blue skeleton giant did not waver at all, and the sword in his hand still had enough strength to cut the Cloud Ninja. Boom! The Cloud Ninja who couldn't escape was directly chopped and exploded, turning into a bloody rain. Haiga Tenriki looked at the blue skeleton giant in front of him, and said word by word San, no, Otoko. Chapter 40. See all Sang Tak Viet. TK. A man in Konoha Anbu uniform, wearing a mask. Very cool. Very handsome. Although he was wearing a mask, Tenryu still recognized him at a glance. Itachi. Itachi, a man Tenryu had never met before, but had long admired. Is this the first time we meet? Seeing him, Tian Li couldn't help but feel a lot of emotions. Itachi, the most outstanding genius ninja of the Uchiha clan, graduated from the ninja school in 1 year, opened the Sharingan at the age of 8, and opened the Manjiki at the age of 12. This is no longer a question of genius, but a genius. However, no matter how talented you are, you will encounter hardships. Between peace and family, he chose peace and destroyed the family. It feels ridiculous, but very shocking, and then stimulated his brother's hatred, love and kill each other, and finally helped his brother. This kind of life is tragic. Haiga Tian Li admired and felt sorry for it. Itachi felt Haiga Tian Li's gaze, and the complex emotions made Itachi a little dazed. Itachi, do you recognize me? Tian Li. Itachi, Sasuke's brother. You have always been my goal, and I have always wanted to meet you. I didn't expect to be saved by you today. Thank you. Itachi was surprised. I often heard Sasuke talk about you before, the genius of the Haiga family, Haiga Tenli. But you're welcome, protecting Konoha is my duty. Thank you for your encouragement and help to Sasuke, otherwise his progress would not be so fast. Speaking of Sasuke, Itachi's voice became much softer. Tenli suddenly had an idea. I have a request. Itachi say. Tian Li, I know you are proficient in illusion, I want to try. Itachi thought for a moment and said, you are Sasuke's friend. I agree to your request, just this once. After saying that, Itachi did not wait for Tian Li to prepare, his eyes suddenly changed, and 3 megatama appeared in his blood-red pupils. Haiga Tenriki felt his heart beating very fast, like a pressure pump, extremely uncomfortable. Then he felt the world suddenly darken, and the originally bright sky became dim and bloody. Then, the world around him began to spin, and then... Soon, Haiga Tenriki found himself handcuffed to a T-shaped stone slab. This was a blood-red world, and a huge 3 Magatama Sharingan hung in the sky. Tsukuyomi. Tenli. Came all of a sudden. Itachi's figure suddenly appeared in front of Tenli. Itachi said, this is my Tsukuyomi world. In this world, all factors including time, place, geographical location, etc. are controlled by the caster, thus giving the other party a devastating blow mentally. Here, no matter how long it takes, it is only a moment in the real world. Tenli struggled hard, but found that his hands and feet were handcuffed tightly and he couldn't move. Even the ninjutsu activation that does not require hand seals cannot be used. Tried to look at each other with the power of the Byakugan, but it was useless. At this moment, Haiga Tenli was really full of resentment towards the creator gods of Big Brother. The Haiga Byakugan is at least as famous as the Sharingan, how could it be so scumbag that he couldn't even resist? In a blink of an eye, the world changed, and Hyga Tenli came out of the illusion Tsukuyomi world. Looking around, he found that Itachi was gone. Hyga Domaru master, he's gone. Tenli nodded. Let's leave too. The two dug a pit for several tribesmen, buried them, and erected a tombstone. Thank you, and please rest assured that I will take good care of your descendants. Hyga Tenriki said to the tombstone. Ninjas are always ready to die. This is their fate. Young master, you don't have to feel guilty. Hyga Domaru said. Well, let's go. The two packed up and left quickly. This time, we changed our itinerary. My destination is the Star Ninja Village. I heard there is a meteorite there that contains a huge amount of chakra. Tian Li said. Star Ninja Village? I've heard of it. I heard they're very secluded. I've only heard the name. Hyga do Marumichi. 200 years ago, a meteorite fell in the Star Ninja Village, so the village is called the Star Ninja Village. The ninjas in the village will practice around the meteorite. Because the meteorite has a part of the energy of the 10 tails, it is because of the power of the 10 tails and affects the chakra, so the star ninjas are good at the peacock magic. A tail-like tail appears, and the chakra can be transformed into various shapes to attack and even fly. Although the energy contained in the meteorite has a strong amplification effect on the chakra of practitioners, not everyone can control this amplification and cause damage to the body. The bloodline cannot withstand the influence of the 10-tail chakra. Therefore, for ordinary people, this training comes at the cost of great physical damage, so the third generation of Hoji Kage stopped this training. And Hyga Tenriki was aiming at the 10 tails energy meteorite. Bloodline and other factors. In the final analysis, the 10 tails, the sacred tree, the fruit of the sacred tree, Kagaya Ori, Hamura Ori, the Hyga family bloodline. In a broad sense, the Hyga family and the 10 tails are really related. Hyga Tenriki has the purest Hyga family bloodline. Perhaps he can rely on the 10 tails energy meteorite to develop his bloodline and return to his ancestral bloodline. This is an idea of Hyga Tenriki. I just don't know what the result will be. At the same time, Hyga Tenriki is also considering another problem, resistance to illusions. Just now, I had no ability to resist Itachi's Tsukuyomi. This feeling was really bad. After obtaining the meteorite from the Star Ninja Village, if everything goes as expected, maybe I can go to the moon to find the Samsara Eye. At this time, Tonari Odoji should not have eyes. Without eyes, his combat power will definitely decrease a lot. Tian Li sorted out his future plans in his mind.